go. This is a little surreal.
Why?
It's very surreal.
Why?
Because it's you.
So-
And we've been watching you since we were little boys.
And we've hung
Look
out
at him
for
keying it up in the first
Dude, I
10
got
seconds.
news for you.
What?
You're still little boys.
Okay.
Oh, we've-
Continue.
In front, like, I don't mind. If it's coming from you, I'll
Also,
take
we've
anything.
hung out for like 20 minutes and you haven't yelled at us yet.
I don't. I charge a lot for that. You haven't paid me yet.
Oh shit. Turn off the AC, bro.
I see. I know people have this expectation from me that I get very worked up.
slightly closer.
That I get very worked up. That was true. A lot happened in my life which changed me. This is not the guy that you've seen at all. In fact, I wrote a book to say goodbye to that guy. And this is me.
You're
And
talking about your biography, right?
my autobiography, yeah. But that guy, I call him Roadies Raghu because that's how you've seen him. You've seen him on Roadies Raghu, but that was me. It's not Roadies Raghu for me. That was me. He was amazing. There was a reason he was born. And that reason was justified. Magar baad mein jaake it became unmanageable, unhandled. I couldn't live with it. So I had to let him go. My life, there have been ups and downs. There are rock bottoms a few times. A rock bottom happened. And then now I'm very different. I live my life very differently. For example, I have no idea who you guys are. I'll tell you why I don't have an idea. Because I do not consume content online. I do not go to social media. I do not consume news at all. I keep newspapers away from me. No religion, no politics. Because all these things really fuck me up. I can use my language.
Yeah.
It's encouraged here.
We
would have loved
Don't
the
encourage me. मुझे encourage मत करो.
Roadies Raghu over here.
No, bro. No. You know what? Everybody would, except me. Except me. Is the one thing that when people keep telling me, sir, at least Roadies audition kar lo वापस. And I tell them I'd rather nail my dick to the wall of a burning building than do that again. Put myself through that again.
Right.
Really is. And he comes out, it's entertaining for everybody. It is, you have to understand, he's Hulk. I'm Bruce Banner. He only comes out when my heart rate has gone beyond. Okay, and now I don't know. वो आके चला जाता है, leaving me to pick up the pieces of the devastation that is left behind. सबके लिए entertainment है. वो गांड मार देता सबकी. And I'm talking about him in third person, not because I'm a megalomaniac, because I've had to disassociate myself with him. Anyway, these are grown-up concepts.
Do you not like that person?
I love that person.
Then why dissociate?
He protected me. The reason he's there is because he protected me. He protected me in a time where I couldn't. He expressed me when I couldn't. He was somebody that people can't. Actually, I am an introvert. Hasoge tum log. And I'm a non-confrontational guy.
Yeah.
In my relationship, there is no argument that has ever happened.
Okay.
I don't do it. I hate it. This guy is confrontational. He picks fights. He's like a bull in a china shop. वो ना आओ देखता है ना ताओ. So I have to realize that he's an aspect of my personality that is not me. और वो जब आएगा, I have no control over him. So I love him. I love him because he protects me. But I have to keep my distance from him because he hurts others. He can hurt others.
Wow.
In that process.
I strangely relate with how you're feeling because I've had, like these guys know, I have an occasional issue with my temper and it makes me behave in ways I don't want to. But then at the end of the day, there is this protective lens कि हाँ ये तो मैं तो मेरे लिए कर रहा हूँ ना ये जो भी कर रहा हूँ.
Why do you think you have temper issues and why do you think you have that?
I feel like most times it displays itself when I feel like I'm being mistreated.
That's your trigger?
It's one of the, I feel like, key triggers, especially like even if it's people like of my own or like when, like for example, if these guys have a show that they're playing and I don't see the staff treating them properly, or I feel like they're not being given.
So disrespect is a
Disrespect
trigger
is a
for you.
big
But have you ever thought why? Anyway, that's a different conversation. We'll
Yeah,
have it
going
outside
deep.
of the
We have
gone too deep, bro. Both of us have just sat in
I thought
thirds.
you guys are unfiltered and all that.
No,
yeah, we
yeah.
usually are. This is
मेरे साथ
This is a
ये
fresh
okay.
start.
Here's a disclaimer. Everything becomes intense very fast with me.
Yeah, we've seen. I mean,
Okay, no, but I really encourage you to talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
I think everybody should.
Yeah.
I really feel that boys are not taught to express themselves healthily, right? We're taught to repress ourselves, and that's why a lot of us have uncontrolled anger. We are no longer in control then. So that's another. Rajiv and I did one little podcast one season, just audio 10 minutes of talking called Men's Cyclopedia. And for that I had to, I feel I have a lot of insights about men,
okay.
being one myself. But I cannot claim to know that much about you guys,
Yeah.
because
Because
it's
of the
totally
generational
different
gap.
world. There is a generation gap now. There is now a generation gap every 5 years, I feel, because the world changes. Generation gap hota kab hai? When my papa says that, dude, you have to be an engineer because that is the way to success. And in my life, there isn't. I'm a podcaster, for example, So it's a totally different world, and it's your world. And I really am fascinated by it. I want to know, why are you trying to get into a relationship?
Where did that come from? Triggered with Raghu.
Let's go. For context,
Welcome to the next episode of Fucked Up Love Story.
It's not a fucked up.
This
love,
is
it's a nice.
for context for people who are watching. Right before we started rolling, we were talking about how like
About
Yeah,
how-
if
I
you're
see
single,
you
single-
guys are
on a
Pune
date.
boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've recently shifted, so
Yeah.
you're living the single life. But this guy says, no, I'm trying to make something happen. That girl is in Mumbai?
She's here.
She's here? You just met her after you came here?
I've known her for a while,
Okay. All right.
and things have
No,
materialized. this way.
but you're saying this from a place that you guys should be living your life.
No. I want to understand the position of love and relationship in your life. Because you're living a life which is so unnatural, this generation.
Yeah.
When you swipe left and right,
Haan.
people can see each other's body parts before even meeting.
Yeah.
It is so unnatural, so weird. When it's so easily available, does it have value? Is it something that's aspirational? Because I'll tell you, this is unfiltered, right? I can say
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
about myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Last night I was talking to my wife about the fact that I have generally not been single ever since I was 17 years old.
Is that how long you've been dating her since then?
No, just
No, just in general.
They've been girls. But every time there was a relationship ended, another happened for
Yeah.
two reasons. One, well, the reason I'll tell you is that I think I wanted it. I think my parents had a beautiful relationship. And Rajiv and I, you guys know us differently, but both of us are actually like, we very clingy in a relationship. हम लोग मतलब अपनी wife
They're
के
soft
साथ,
boys.
yeah, हम लोग उनके साथ रहते हैं और
That's great.
that's we really like
Who would
that.
have expected?
But yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
But that's how we grew up. That's our reality. Your reality is so different,
Yeah.
You're working, swipe, fuck, working, swipe, fuck, working. Right? You can do that if you want that,
It's not
right?
that readily available.
like all in one day.
It should. What the fuck?
No, it is.
It's not that
if
readily
you went out of your way to
No,
make it happen, it would happen.
अपना फोटो हटा, उसका किसी का फोटो लगा. मेरा फोटो लगा.
Swipe
See, you're right from it is available. Okay, it is available. है मतलब कर सकते हैं. But when you said you've been in a relationship since you were
Not
7,
a relationship. I have been in relationships.
Yeah.
Beach में 6 months
Huh.
here and there. I've been married twice. So it's something that I know that I have always wanted, and it was never like easily available. Maybe that's why. I am not drawing a correlation here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking aloud.
Right.
Maybe it's aspirational for me. Is it aspirational for you guys as well? I don't think so. I don't know.
It's aspirational for me.
Getting laid or being in a relationship?
No, I don't. Now
In our generation,
they're synonymous.
they're the same.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had at least in my, I don't want to speak for everyone because they're in their own space right now in terms of this, and women.
Yeah, you're the one speaking. So.
So what I wanted to say is I feel like I've done my fair share of.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I just turned 26 in September.
What other delusions do you have about your life?
What does that mean?
What the fuck do you mean fair share? Boss,
भाई,
अभी तो शुरू नहीं हुआ है.
नहीं, मैं एक बात, like if I comparatively I feel like I've had
I'm
experiences
sorry.
with women a lot more
I'm
than
sorry
how many.
I interrupted you. Please continue.
Oh, so sweet of you. I was saying that whatever experiences I've had with women in the past, I've only had one committed long-term relationship, and I feel like that was a point of change in my life. And
Every relationship is.
Yeah, and I experienced that, and I was like, यार ये अगर ये मिल सकता है मुझे तो मैं ये बाकी का टाइम पास क्यों करूँगा? So then I have a lot of value for relationships in general, and I like being with my people. I like being close and showing them that I care. And
So why doesn't that girl? Is she seeing someone?
Which girl?
That
Your
girl.
new girl.
Is she seeing someone?
New girl or the
New
last
girl
girl?
or
The new one. The one.
new
that-
one
the
is
one
seeing
he-
me,
You said you're trying to make it happen,
No,
bro. It's
yeah,
happened.
yeah, so-
Nahin, so now
Congrats.
we'll get to the real
We'll break
state
that
of
down also
dating
Let's
of
do
our
it. Let's do it.
generation.
Yeah.
So you meet someone, you talk to them, and there is interest, attraction.
When you say you talk to them, it's on messaging. It
Could be anyone.
You
It
guys
could be
call it
anywhere.
talking. It's not talking.
No, it could be in person also.
You're interacting with
You'll
them
go on a
either via
date.
message.
You'll go on a date. You'll meet them, or
Okay.
you'll run into them somewhere, and then you maybe start hooking up as well. But then it's still not a relationship. You're just like seeing that person, and then there is this gray area in the middle where you're figuring out if you want to label it and call it a relationship.
If you
or-
want more of this,
Yeah.
you have
If you
it.
want
No,
everything
You
with
can
this
be
have-
exclusive or not.
Correct.
you can
yeah.
be exclusive as well and still not call it a relationship because
People
the-
are scared.
People are scared of calling it a relationship.
That's fucked
The
up.
word has a lot
That's
of weight
fucked up.
now.
Yeah.
Matlab, you guys are scared of words.
I'm
now.
not scared.
The people. I'm talking
This
about those ones.
generation, yeah.
Why
But the
are we
It's
scared
called
of
a-
words?
It's called a situationship. So there's a word for it now. So everyone's like,
Yeah, we always had a word for it. Chutiya panti. Situationship.
so now again we are in a place where situationship is also a label. So people are like, fuck, now what to do?
Yeah, so they're trying to break from that label as well.
So it's a little tricky, and that is happening because of the same thing where I could be seeing someone, but on a daily basis I'm seeing like 15 other girls on my Instagram.
And so are they. So is
And so-
there a trust issue here? Is that
I
you
think
don't
so.
trust anyone anymore?
No,
You don't
it's-
even
you
trust
don't trust
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what is
like,
happening
what
over
But
is-
now.
you trust the others?
No, that's the thing. Like right now, what has happened in this generation is that since you, like he said, you're on your phone all the time, you're so easily accessible to at least 15 other women who you feel you can get with.
Who must be accessible to 30 other men?
Exactly.
Each.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like it's a never-ending cycle in this generation.
And then also you're like, okay, I like this girl, but if I'm going to commit to this, I may be missing out on all this other.
Yeah, because so much is available.
Otherwise,
I wouldn't say it's easily available. I'll say so much is
Yeah.
there.
the idea and the illusion of you having access to so many people will make you think, oh, I could be with 10 girls.
Yeah.
Why would I be with one?
Yeah. Because earlier, like in my generation, people had to go to a club.
Yeah.
वो उसमें वो कौन सा क्लब है वहाँ लड़कों को एंट्री है ही नहीं पहले ठीक है
No
stags
stag
को।
entry.
तो लड़की के साथ तो तुम पहले हो
Yeah.
वहाँ पर और कौन सी लड़कियाँ हैं और एंड इज देयर केमिस्ट्री हैपनिंग देयर यू नो आई डू यू डेयर टू गो अप टू हर या कुछ बात होती है कोई कॉमन फ्रेंड मिल गया है यू स्टार्ट डांसिंग टुगेदर वो बहुत एक देयर वाज अ डांस
Yeah.
Yeah.
that used to happen which I'm glad I never enjoyed it but it wasn't like oh ये लड़की नहीं तो 15 और हैं I think that's an issue.
Maybe you can help us out with this. Now, for me personally, I would like to think I'm a smart guy. Okay, I've been in a few relationships. I think like 3 or 4, and 3 or 4 like proper relationships which have lasted for a few. A couple of them have lasted a few years. A couple of them have been like a few months. And now I'm in this place where I want to see people, I want to meet new people, and I'm open to the possibility of it going somewhere. Eventually, even like marriage and all that stuff. Okay? I'm open to it. But at the same time, I've been through enough relationships to know that after 2 years you might realize that this isn't working out, but then you're
Can I interrupt you there?
yeah.
After 2 years, everybody will think it's not working out.
Okay.
What do you do then? See, this is something that I created the show on Netflix called IRL in Real Love, which is a better way to meet people in real life or online. So there were these 4 singles, 2 boys and 2 girls, who dated people exclusively in real life and met people exclusively online, and then they met all of them. This was an experiment that we did.
Right.
And one girl said something very interesting, Sakshi. She said, today, if there's an issue in a relationship, because you can swipe for so many, you are already in the DMs of so many people are in your DMs and all that, you may not feel the need to work this out. Thoda sa problem ho gaya, fuck this, man, let me go to this. You know what I'm saying? There's that effort to maintain something. No relationship will be a success. I'm talking to you as a guy who's gone through divorce. You have to make it. You have to make it. I think I have. They say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. My divorce almost killed me. I am stronger. And I think now I have more clarity about relationships and what a man can do in a relationship than ever before. And I think that जो तुम कह रहे हो ना 2 साल बाद तुम्हारा डर है कि 2 साल बाद तुम्हें ऐसा लगेगा, तुम्हें 2 महीने बाद ऐसा लगेगा, 6 महीने बाद फिर लगेगा, 1 साल बाद फिर लगेगा, 2 साल बाद फिर लगेगा. What do you do at that time depends on that will decide whether this is a relationship for life or not. Because dude, you can walk off, she can walk off. कुछ नहीं जाता किसी का. You can keep living your life like that. And I'm not being preachy, I'll shut up. I think if this is a reality, why it's a problem only if you want permanence, if you want longevity, if you want the kind of passion that comes with long time intimacy, the kind of, it's like जब तुम जिम जाते हो ना and you do a little bit of weights and all, you feel good about it, ठीक है यार swimming कर ले. When you are at it for years and then you're not just your body but your mind, the level at which you're working, at which you're living, you will never understand it as a newcomer. The intimacy of a long-term relationship is so aspirational, I can't begin to tell you. It's also difficult for you guys.
So you're saying it gets much better if you stick it out.
Fuck, yeah.
You have to push through those difficult moments, right? Because that's what makes it.
See, you know what? You do that for your career.
Yeah.
You do that for your family. The only place you wouldn't do that normally is your relationship, and that's a fuck up.
Okay,
Yeah.
but at the same time, at what point do you decide that, okay, I should probably bail on this? Like, there must be indicators for that as well, right?
Of course there are.
So, like, how do you
For
go
me
about
personally, see, I'll tell you, if anybody hits anyone,
obviously, abuse is like a no-no to whatever extent.
Abuse,
But
cheating.
see, there are
six things.
there are soft. Nowadays, there are language of green flag, red flag, and all that. Okay, so there's a pink flag. ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है. So there are soft limits. There are hard limits that cannot be crossed. Soft limits can be, dude, I don't want her to have a full-fledged career. That's a fuck up though. Or let's say I don't want her to drink alcohol. I don't want him to have boys' night. That's a soft limit. अगर कर भी रहा है तो ठीक है. ठीक है. एक hard limit होता है. I don't want him to cheat on me, for example. For some people, cheating is also a soft limit. But I don't want him to be jobless. That could be a hard limit. So I don't want her to be fat. Can be a hard limit for guys if you're that shallow. So you have to.
Wait. Is it not okay to have like a preference in?
It's okay to have a preference.
Then?
But you think it's shallow?
No, it's not. I have a type. I don't know. Look, I was married to Kuhu, Sugandha Garg. She is, she's from Rajasthan. She's dusky. She's beautiful. She's an actor. Short. All right? She acts, she sings, she writes. I'm now married to Natalie DiLuccio. She's from Toronto, of Italian descent. She's tall. She's fair. Their personalities are very different. She's a singer. She's very caring. So I guess I have a type, but the type is not a physical appearance. The two people that I got married to, There is no common. They're not opposite. There's not much commonality if you look at it, but there are basic things that are actually like that. The beauty inside, and also like I would love my woman to be beautiful. Is that shallow? I don't know, but I love looking at. I fall in love with somebody who's also beautiful. Of course, that's not a hard limit. But it's a preference. Does that make me shallow? I don't know, man. I think everybody has likes and dislikes. I have been in relationships with women who are bigger. That's okay. That's okay. If I was watching an episode and she passed by the TV, the season would end.
This is a your mama joke.
It's a your mama joke, but yeah. तुमने पूछा तो मैंने बताया. Big is big, man. I mean, not petite.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't. But it's okay to have this thing. But we were talking about soft limits and hard limits. So when do you know what's not okay? You have a hard limit of disrespect. That's a hard limit for you. It's not soft.
Yeah.
So if that girl was to disrespect you or your friends, you would say, okay. So there's this guy, newly married couple, okay, comes to Mumbai from Pune for their honeymoon. And first time in Mumbai.
Didn't put that much effort into that.
First time in Mumbai. तुम लोग भी तो आए.
हनीमून के लिए थोड़ी आए.
तुमने कितना एफर्ट डाल दिया गांडू.
काम कर रहे हैं ताकि मुंबई पे ना आना पड़े हनीमून से.
यहाँ सिर्फ काम नहीं होता है भाई. More people are fucking in Bombay than Pune.
Yeah,
that is true.
तो अरेंज मैरिज था, ठीक है. तो आए. ये तब की बात है जब विक्टोरिया चलती थी इधर इन मरीन ड्राइव, हॉर्स कैरेज. तो दोनों आए और बैठे एंड इट्स रियली लाइक रोमांटिक. फुल मून नाइट, चल रहे हैं, समुंदर की लहरें एंड यू आर गोइंग. वो घोड़ा टक टुक चल रहा है. थोड़ी सी बारिश हुई थी पहले, so there is little bit of the roads are wet, but the moonlight and the street lights are shining. It's called the Queen's Necklace, which I don't like the name, but it shines like a necklace. So जा रहे हैं, वो दोनों बात कर रहे हैं and they look at each other, they're smiling and the horse slips on the road. The moment is broken. The guy says, okay, continue, what were you saying? And then they're talking, okay. He holds her hand, she smiles, okay. They're coming closer and the horse slips again. The moment is broken. He says, 2, let's move on. And then they're talking and अब वो उसने ऐसे हाथ पीछे रख दिया. It's a new, मतलब arranged marriage, and she's also like shy and she knows what's coming and he starts pulling her closer and the horse slips again. He says 3, gets up, gets down, takes out a gun, shoots the horse. Boom! घोड़ा मर जाता है. The wife loses it. What the fuck? What the fuck? How could you do it? You just shot the fucking horse. You just killed the fucking horse. What the fuck is wrong with you, psycho? She's like, looks at her, says, 1.
Oh, shit.
That's a hard limit, bro.
This is like a horror story.
This is relationship advice. This is relationship advice from me.
So she has only 2 more strikes.
That's funny.
Huh? Why are you so uncomfortable?
I'm not. I was laughing.
You found this offensive.
I feel like he's just trying to read everyone. He's like, हाँ मैं अभी zoo में आया हूँ.
He's like a chimpanzee with a finger up the butt.
मुझे पता ही नहीं है यार. तुम लोग you guys are scared of words. You guys are scared, offended by concepts.
Okay, one sec. Let's just.
मुझे लग रहा है यहाँ ऑडिशन हो रहा है.
Bro, अगर यहाँ ऑडिशन हो रहा होता ना तुझे लगता, बहुत जोर से लगता. लेकिन
What would you have done different if it was an audition?
Should we practice this? Like,
But these Gen Z fucks would have gone destroyed, bro, at a Roadies audition.
Yeah, they 100%. I don't think they would have been able to survive.
नहीं हो पाता. हो ही नहीं पाता. वो offend हो जाते हैं यार बाद में. And concepts offend them and scare them.
Yeah.
But that's not a Gen Z thing. I think human beings are scared of concepts which challenge their concept of reality. For example, if I was to talk about atheism, if I was to talk about feminism, if I was to talk about liberalism, a lot of these things, science scares people.
Yeah.
That's because they don't understand it.
I feel like people are also very communal about the things they believe. Like if you're not an atheist, then I like you. or if they'll want to like associate with those
There's
kinds of people
but
because they
teens.
think like them.
Coming out as homosexual, coming out as atheist, I'm not comparing. Of course, it's tougher to come out as homosexual, but these things are an issue for people because, I'm having an argument with my mom today about her talking to my son about gods.
Okay.
Your mom is religious.
Everybody's mom is religious. My father, I told him I'm an atheist. He said, you're not. I said, what do you mean? He said, what do you mean you're an atheist? I'm so religious, how can you be atheist?
But how long ago was this?
This was a few years ago. I have an atheist tattoo on my leg, like there's a symbol of atheism. But people don't understand atheism. Atheism is not the opposite. Actually, religion is not the opposite of Hinduism is not different from Islam or opposite of Christianity or Sikhism, nothing. They are all the same in that they all evaluate through faith, not evidence. The same. Science is the opposite. It's a different approach of examining our reality. Why is there a sunrise and sunset? Religion will tell you a lot of things. Every religion will tell you. Every mythology will tell you. They will not have any evidence of it. If you question it, they'll get offended. But you can tell a scientist, no, you think that the earth is the center of the world? I think the earth revolves around the sun and I'll prove it to you. And you'll say, oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a way of interrogating nature, interrogating our reality and getting answers out through evidence, which is fundamentally different from... That's why atheism offends and threatens religion more than other religious people. They will have friends of other religions, but when there is an atheist in the mix, there's a different reaction. Can I get some coffee, please?
Yes.
But what if, let's say, now you're an atheist, you're saying?
Yeah.
Aap atheist ho, and now if I were to refer you to a bunch of, let's say, like peer-reviewed scholars who, or like archaeologists or someone who bring up stories about like where they saw one warship ka toota hua part somewhere in some ridden land somewhere, and say ki, oh, this could be proof that there was an aerial craft like many years ago.
You said peer-reviewed. So you mean that it's reviewed by peers? Because peers will not...
Kyunki abhi now through the internet there is a community of people who...
I think there is a... I don't think he's saying that...
Yeah, so I'll say... Can I? May?
Yeah, sure.
It's like 4 लोग फारसी में बात कर रहे हैं और एक फ्रेंचमैन आ चुका है. ठीक है? वो भाषा ही अलग है. आप बोलते हो... Firstly, I'll ask you something that may offend you, but I'm honestly asking, do you understand science?
Understand science?
Yeah. Do you understand science?
Not to its entirety. I don't...
No.
I mean, there are scientific principles that we do understand, and there are some that we might not.
Science is not a fact. It is a way of arriving at facts. The fact may change. The approach has to be correct. Right? So there is a observation leading to a hypothesis, leading to experiments, leading to results. You will change the experiments, control groups laoge, vagara. You will come to the same result and you will say, okay, this is the equation, this is my fault. This will be now what is called peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed is a very important part of it. Everybody will test it. It is their job to disprove this.
Correct.
They are not against me. But for this to be accepted as truth, every hole that can be punched will be punched. What if it's done in vacuum? What if it's done at night? What if it's done underwater? Same result? Oh, okay. Now it's truth. It's been proved. That is science. If science says, oh, cholesterol we said was bad, it's actually good. It's not that science was wrong. It learned something new and upgraded itself. It's a new version on your phone. It doesn't mean your phone was shit or the phone is wrong. It's just better. The system is such a way that there is built-in self-control and tuning, fine-tuning. Course correction is built into that.
Right.
So that's science. You understand that science?
Yeah.
अब ये मैं भाषा किसी भी चीज़ से करूँ. Take any concept you have of, hey, there is a piece of a machine that I found somewhere. That could be proof that how have you arrived from a piece of this thing to a flying object? पहले तो वो बताओ मेरे को.
I kind of jumped through it just to
give me any example. People say, hey man, this life is so, creation is so intricate. It's proof of a God, of a creator. How is that a proof? How have you gone from this to that? You have to go वो प्रूव करना
There are
चाहिए
steps to it.
हाँ नहीं बट आई एम ऑब्वियसली नॉट क्वालिफाइड इनफ टू कम एंड टेल यू कि हाँ पहले उन्होंने ये ढूंढा फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने ये ढूंढा दे केम टू दिस कंक्लूजन बिकॉज ऑफ वॉट एवर बट आई एम श्योर इफ यू देर आर पीपल हु आर who within this field who will have an explanation for you and who will say this.
But
so to someone like
see-
that, would you be open to try and understand like what they're saying and just
Yes, but I will talk the language of evidence.
correct?
Logic, and you give me those things. Don't tell me, hey, इस किताब में लिखा हमारे उन्होंने ये बोला है. This is bullshit. You know, I'm happy to say, hey man, I'll tell you something. हमारे यहाँ सूर्य नमस्कार होता है, ठीक है? Science is now finding out that there is something in the low angle sunlight that actually gives dopamine, makes you alert, and it resets your circadian rhythm where 16 hours later you'll start feeling sleepy, and 24 hours after that you will be alert again.
Okay.
ये अब after all that we understand about neuroscience, about circadian rhythm, we are coming to that. We knew it as Surya Namaskar. I am happy to get that. Ashwagandha ke bare mein, science is still doing a lot of research studies about it. It does have a calming anxiety effect. Yes. Does it also have immunity effect? We don't know. We're finding that out. But if you tell me something, no, I'll say, okay, what is your basis for saying that? If you can't, we'll have to test it rigorously.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're willing to go through that test, yeah. I will say I'll plant a seed of a tulsi. I'll invite a Muslim, I invite a Hindu, I invite a Christian, every religion. Pick a tree. Apple, mango, orange, banana, okay? All of you pray that this becomes
Turns
that.
into that.
अब वहाँ से जो उगा ना, वो truth है. Every other religion is wrong, okay? अगर वो सिर्फ तुलसी होगा तो तुम सब भागो यहाँ से. But ये होगा कभी? नहीं होगा.
Yeah, see, I personally think science is the best method, best tool, best way of finding out answers to the questions of the universe or any question that you might have about the world, our current reality and our world.
Yeah.
Religion is a different approach altogether, and it's been around since forever. Now, obviously, people believe what they believe. Now, someone who is sitting and praying to God or praying to their version of God or whatever life they're living and whatever they choose to believe, they've just taken a completely different approach. Is what I'm from
so
the
can I ask you
scientific
something?
approach.
Can I ask you something? I can understand. Every atheist was actually once in a religion, because religion only survives because as children it was told to us at an impressionable age by figures of authority. Okay? It actually creates a reality which will never be questioned. You will become a scientist in NASA and ISRO. मंगलयान निकाल दोगे मगर उससे पहले मंगल ग्रह की पूजा करके तुम भेज रहे होगे. There is a weirdness to it because it's inculcated in you, your condition. It's called indoctrination into that. So those who have come out of religion have broken that conditioning. But we understand why we need a God. Why people needed a God. First it explains why is the sky blue? God made it like that. Why are there fish in the sea? God made it so that. एक वो होता है. दूसरा, अरे यार आंधी आ गई, ये टोर्नेडो, अब क्यों हुआ ऐसा? क्यों हुआ? भगवान ने किया. क्यों? अच्छा, इसको मैं अच्छा, यानी कि it is terrifying that to exist in a planet, in a world where anything can happen at any time.
Of course.
What is it that we can do? So I can pray. मैं अर्जी दे सकता हूँ गवर्नमेंट को या किसी को, स्काई डैडी, उसको मैंने अर्जी दिया, तो I can understand the comfort it gives. Okay.
Yeah.
Now my question to you is, would you rather have a comfort based on a lie, on fiction, or would you rather face the fear of truth?
पर वो fiction उनके लिए है ही नहीं ना. They're in such an
No,
extremist.
see, if you're
I'm giving you
asking
the
us
choice.
personally,
Red pill, blue pill.
if you're asking me personally, of course, I'm not religious myself. I'm not religious at all. And I've gone through the whole...
You really think that any girl who matches with you on Tinder likes you, right? So that's what I'm saying. You are not able to face the fact that no one loves you.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm saying I'm not religious at all. If you are, that's what I asked. Are you asking us personally?
No, personally, I'm asking you, yaar. Do you understand how it can be comforting at
Of course it
difficult
is
times? I
comforting.
lost my father. Okay, I'm a rationalist. That is the worst thing. You know,
Yeah.
my father's my best friend. I still don't think I'm okay with it. I don't think I've accepted it. I know there's no afterlife. I know there's no soul. I know it because there's no evidence for it. Yet, when it comes to my dad, I think he's there. I am too scared. I'll actually start crying now. It is so difficult for a rational, intelligent, thinking, scientific human being to let go of his father, for example. How much tougher it must be for somebody who's not rational, for somebody who's to let go of the comfort of the afterlife, of loved ones, you know?
The belief that they have.
Oh God, I'll take a minute. I'm sorry.
So take your time.
I get very emotional, yeah.
It's one of the things that I don't think anyone will ever be prepared
Oh,
for.
dude. Sorry.
Chill, man.
But that's, see, the thing is,
Now your viewers are going to see this and say, देखिए चूतिया, अब खुद पे आई तो गांड फटी. सबको
But I
बताता
feel like they
फिरता
will
है.
understand the
सबको बताता
nuance
फिरता है.
of what you're saying.
Now everyone will understand, of course.
see,
It's a very-
I think there is people ever since the beginning. They have, as a human being, you are existential. At some point in your life, you start questioning things and you're curious about the world. And if everyone was to just sit and think about what's out there, where have we come from, nothing would get done. So you kind of needed, also you needed people to behave in a certain way. You need
Yeah.
to get them in line.
Yeah,
You
that
want
was
them to
then
not
in a
kill each
lawless
other.
land, you'd say, okay,
Yeah.
you know, don't beat your slave so much that he dies. If he dies, give some money to the family. It's that.
Yeah.
You know, that was socially acceptable then. But now we've moved on. Yeah,
You
we've
need
moved
it.
on. I think religion is... Atheism is one thing. There's one thing called antitheism.
Antitheism?
Antitheism.
Okay.
Atheism means there is no... The atheist position is there is no good evidence for the existence of a God, of a supernatural creator God. That is the atheist position. Antitheism is religion is bad, is poison. If God exists, he's a fuck up who needs to apologize and get the fuck out. That is the anti-theist position. I'm also a bit of an anti-theist.
Right. I feel like even I see where people would come from when
So yeah,
they're like,
at that time there might have been a need for religion. Right now, वो जा चुका है religion. You know what I'm saying? जैसे पहले खाना नहीं होता था. People used to go days without. I'm talking about caveman days, right?
Yeah.
जो भी hunter gatherers में कभी तुमने ये खा लिया, कभी वो खा लिया, कभी ये खा लिया. अभी क्या है, Zomato पे है. अभी वो भूख है नहीं. अभी वो scarcity है नहीं. But हमारी body अभी भी fat store किए जा रही है. You know what I'm saying? Now the food is poison.
Right.
At that time it was life-giving. Now it is, all our diseases are from a place of abundance, of too much.
Right.
Let's just talk about something more
I'm
fun.
with you.
Yeah, let's-
We can. The thing
तुम्हारी
about
audience जा रही है अभी.
नहीं,
टप
नहीं.
टप करके. Unfollow.
This is a, you can talk about anything. You can talk, I'm sure there's an audience for everything. And these are conversations that we haven't really had on the podcast before. So I'm interested to even have these
What conversations do you normally have on this podcast?
Relationships. Oh,
Why don't you ever
whatever.
have a girl over here talking about relationships
We
with
do,
you?
we
guys?
do,
There's
we
a completely male point of view here.
Yeah.
No,
No, we
do.
get-
We
we
consciously try to get the female point of view. We're helping the viewers like figure it out. As I think this is what this podcast has turned into. It's the four of us figuring life out as we go,
Yeah.
and people are seeing us grow up, which is kind of
And the
cool.
conversations have also changed. Like from back when we were in
Yeah.
Pune, it was a lot more,
Yeah.
I'd say, young, immature.
Yeah,
Just
filthy.
like filthy.
there was, feel like one time we had a conversation about how suicide hotlines are stupid. that was
Hot
a
take.
hot take.
Why? Tell me why. Why is it stupid? I'm interested.
When was this?
That's the
was,
clickbait that you just said.
This was I think when we ordered pizza or we did a mukbang.
Why
episode.
were we talking about this? I don't remember.
Because he was calling the Swiggy guy and like it wasn't connecting. And then I don't know how this joke happened where like suicide hotline ka like kya whatever and then
But actually, who will think?
and then I said they never pick up.
Oh yeah, you tried.
You know what's more stupid than more stupid than suicide hotlines is the fact that attempting suicide is against the law.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
जो आदमी मरने को हो रहा है तू क्या
उसको जेल में डाल दो।
उसको क्या डरा रहा है तू? उसको क्या डरा रहा है?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, you
But there is
तू
a
बच गया, अब तेरी मांगी
मैं गाड़ मारूंगा।
You thought your life was fucked up before. Wait, you're in prison.
Yeah.
That's a
But
win-win
we
situation.
believe in the concept of afterlife. So it's like you, wherever you're going after this.
But people get scared. अब मैं बोलता हूँ ना, there's no afterlife. लोग लड़ पड़ते हैं मेरे से. People fight even on your
Because you
comments.
don't want it to end. Like who wants that life
but-
to end?
यार बिना तुम
It's
बिना
something to
एविडेंस के
believe
किसी
in, no,
चीज
but-
को
हाँ तो
Okay, इतना वायलेंटली डिफेंड करोगे तो क्या बात है? मतलब लॉजिक से बोलो ना, मुंह बंद करा दो मेरा, मेरे को एविडेंस मुंह पे मारो, चुप हो जाऊंगा. एक्चुअली अगर एक गॉड आ गया ना तो सबसे पहले एथिस्ट मानेंगे बिकॉज वो एविडेंस हो जाएगा. बाकी सारे रिलीजन वाले बोलेंगे नहीं ये कॉन्स्पिरेसी थियरी है. तुम समझ रहे हो मेरी बात?
Yeah, yeah.
द फर्स्ट पीपल हु विल एक्सेप्ट गॉड इफ ही वर टू कम इज एथिस्ट. और फिर हम उसकी गुद्दी पकड़ेंगे.
Yeah.
व्हाट द फक.
See, I don't think we've come up with a better way to keep people in line than the concept of God and judgment.
I
and
think there is nothing else that has told people you have the freedom to fuck other people than religion, because a God will forgive you. People who do terrorism in the name of
God and
God or Allah or whatever, right? They think they're doing the right thing. Do you understand me?
yeah.
They are not terrorists. वो खुदा का काम कर रहे हैं, वो भगवान का काम,
भगवान के नाम पे बॉम्ब फोड़ रहे हो।
कर रहे. Do you understand me? So understand, religion is not something that will make you do the right thing.
Yeah.
It will make you feel good about doing the wrong thing. If you are discriminating against Muslims in India, if you are discriminating against Hindus in USA, if you're whatever you're doing, it'll make you feel good about it. So no, religion is the opposite of morality. I reject the notion that religion is anything that will say that if the only reason you're not raping kids is because you will be punished in the afterlife, then fuck you, you're not moral. You're not.
No, I get that, but don't you think for a majority of people, let's say my grandmom, who's a very nice lady and she loves God and prays to God every day, and she lives a very nice life because she believes in God and that's what keeps her going. I think it works for a lot of people. That's why it's stayed around
There
for so long.
definitely is a side.
Your grandmother probably needed it because see, back in the day, the women, उनका position society में ना, I might be wrong. I would like for your viewers to correct me in this, in your comments. I think that in Hinduism, at least traditional Hinduism, Shudra and women are not eligible for moksha.
Okay.
Your best bet is to live your life. Your best bet is to be reborn as a non-Shudra male. To have a
What is
legitimate
Shudra?
shot.
I'm sorry?
Shudra is a caste. So there are 4 castes. There's Brahmin, the priest caste, Kshatriya, the warrior class, Vaishya, the trading class, and Shudra, the menial labor. They're supposed उसमें untouchability भी होती है and all that. अभी नहीं है, पहले होती थी. So these guys are not eligible. So widows, women used to get married at a. So the position of women was very vulnerable in this thing. So you needed God, you needed faith, you needed that belief that you will have a better life. I know my grandmothers and I knew my great grandmother also. They were very religious. They had no option. It worked for them because without it, you cannot tolerate life. You can't. And I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. I'm telling you what it does to think of my dad, and So I understand your grandmother doing that. I'm not talking about a personal religion. I think sab apne se karo. It becomes a fuck up when you encounter somebody different from you. I think religion encourages discrimination.
I see both sides of this argument.
No, that's why this
No,
is not
religious texts tell you that you have to convert the guy. You have to kill infidels. You have to do that.
Yeah, no, I know for sure.
And you think you're doing God's work.
I mean, again,
Look, I am against religion. I'm talking from a standpoint of just like our current world and the practicality of why it's still there, why people practice it, and just like talking about it objectively. I don't know if can you call yourself an atheist if you think there is an external force external force or just a force within us that drives things rather than.
So there's a position called agnosticism. Agnostic
Okay.
बोलते हैं उसको. Agnostic means I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not there. I don't know.
You're not taking any team.
I
Yeah.
don't think there is a supreme being which created all of us. I don't believe in that notion, but I think there is something which could be even like if you were to the closest thing to it scientifically would be energy. There is an energy that created this world and makes things run.
No. The world is energy. So
that's
who
what I
created the energy that created this energy?
It's just there.
How can that be?
It's just energy.
So you've heard of you've heard of Occam's razor.
No.
There's a scientist called Occam, Occam. Occam said something. In any situation, the simplest explanation that covers all the points must be true. Anything else is not. You have to. So you bring a razor to and shave off anything that's unnecessary. What is left? अगर मैं इसको काटूंगा तो ये explain नहीं होगा. अच्छा इसको रखते हैं. This is the truth. Occam's razor. You have to bring this razor to any belief that you have.
Right.
If you don't understand how the world came into being, that's one thing. Okay, let's find out. If you say that means there must be somebody who created it. Now you have created something that you don't understand to explain something that you didn't understand in the first place. Right? It does not stand the test of Occam's razor. It's not the simplest argument. The simplest argument is not that a mythical supernatural being created. That's not the simplest argument. That's the most accepted argument, but it's not the simplest. Anyway, let's not talk about religion anymore. तुम लोग वैसे ही पत्थर मार मार के यहाँ से निकाल दिए
This is why our
जाओगे.
episodes go on for 2 hours because like we
ये कुछ नहीं आएगा.
नहीं, we get
We can keep it.
तुम अपने don't do that to yourself.
Why?
Why?
No, why should, it's okay. It's a natural.
We do
it's a
chapters so
conversation.
the audience can just skip
They
this
can
chapter
skip through
and
whatever
go to
they
the next
want.
one and
Yeah, do
see
that,
the
do
next
that.
thing. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about why you're a virgin, bro.
Oh my God.
It's been a while now. What can I say?
It's grown back.
It's difficult.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about virgins because I think there's a lot of that in our audience.
Can't just call them out like that.
नहीं
Poor
bro,
things,
तो
yeah.
होता है. I think in this country it's still not that easy for people to explore their sexuality and just like because if you look at like first world countries, if you're looking at America as people start having sex at 14, 15, 16.
10 and all.
I
dude,
think that's
sometimes.
fucked up.
Yeah, dude. It's
The
so
thing is
weird.
now
I
also
think-
I think it started.
I think 16 is an acceptable age to start.
Let me guess. Somebody fucked you in the ass when you were 16.
No,
Oh,
no,
God,
no,
yeah.
no, no.
I don't want to think of that.
No, but I'm saying from
That
a
escalated quickly.
You did that to someone when you were 16.
From a like that's when you hit
Listen, but
puberty
jokes
and
are,
shit.
you know, I know I'm coming across as homophobic and all that. ऐसा कुछ भी
No,
नहीं
no,
है.
even we
No,
are
yeah,
coming
they're
across.
also the same.
तुम्हारे मर जाएंगे लोग यार.
नहीं,
बढ़
नहीं,
रहे
कोई
हैं.
नहीं. I feel like you have a very skewed way of what this is. Skewed way of skewed
Dude,
understanding
so
of what is going on here.
At least for India, I will speak that India people our age and the younger generation, they're very like you'll see what the kind of shit they talk about. You'll be like, yo, that's fucked up.
That day I met 13-year-old kids who watch us, which if we were 13 watching this, it would have made no sense. So if a 13-year-old
See,
child can watch
we
this.
are the AIB generation. People loved AIB and everything that they made.
Oh yeah, I just remembered.
Oh yeah, you've done the. But
No, no,
I'm trying to say AIB said some crazy shit and people love them. People want that. People want to listen to this kind of stuff.
There's also
The thing is, it's coming back now. Like there was this one generation which probably is like
the
our parents'
snowflake generation is
it's
kind of going away.
dissipating.
Yeah.
It is actually going away.
You did in India's Got Latent with Samay, right?
Yeah.
You've seen how his humor is.
Yeah.
Samay is the most loved comedian in the country right now.
Yeah.
So there is a demand for humor like that.
यार या देख ह्यूमर एक चीज होती है हमारा भी ह्यूमर ही था
हाँ.
AIB.
Exactly. Yeah.
There are 15 police cases against us, okay? Oh, they've combined into one, but anyway, there was a. It's again to do with religion, I'm sorry. But we won't go there. Having said that, tell me about your love lives. Yeah, I'm very.
He keeps going back there.
I'm very curious. Okay, you're living in the big bad city. पुणे से आए हो तुम लोग अपने हाइमन को लेके.
Hyman को लेके.
You start.
But why Hyman?
Yeah, you start.
My hymen is intact, bro.
You were. He was actually the last one to do it.
To pop his cherry?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you know how
How was it? In the sense,
You-
did
okay,
my
sorry.
question is,
Yeah.
afterwards,
Hmm.
did you feel really bad?
No, why?
he was nice to you.
No, in my...
He cuddled after.
No, you didn't. You didn't. How old are you?
I'm 26. We're all 26.
We're all 26.
So you lost your virginity at 24.
No, man.
25.
Last night.
26. Last night. What?
How old were you?
19?
19.
Yeah.
And you were okay with losing your virginity. I'll tell you why,
Yeah.
because conditioning is so much. I lost my virginity when I was 21, okay? And I felt like shit.
Why was that?
मुझे बहुत गंदा लगा मुझे मैंने क्या कर दिया it's so bad I've done something I have ruined someone's life my life is ruined I was so disturbed
Yeah.
because it was I'd never realized that we were raised to see sex as something really dirty something really bad something that
It's a taboo
it's
to it.
taboo and I was 21 years old and I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, what have I done? So you guys are sluts, man, bancho.
Come on, yeah.
This is a feeling most people feel after doing it for the first time.
because
I was like, fuck, man, that's.
Did you feel like this?
Yeah, bro. I was
he
16.
feels it every time he jerks off.
I was fucking 16, bro, and I was like, shit, that's like.
16, I told you.
Yeah, he said it.
Raghu knows.
I knew it was
And
That's
then-
someone's daughter. Fuck, like that's crazy. And then, so I had. It was with a girlfriend, so it was fine. Like we loved each other, and it was
नहीं,
sweet.
मेरा भी girlfriend ही था. I didn't pay for it.
नहीं, मतलब it wasn't a hookup.
That's when it would have
like-
felt worse that you're paying money for
It
it.
took like months and months of like convincing. So then we were talking about this on text. I was like, fuck, like ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. And then I was chilling with some friends, like guy friends, who had my phone. They were playing music and they like saw my messages and they all were like very quiet after that. And they were like, I found out later, they had like discussion, how has he done this? Like this is so messed up.
So they were upset with you.
Yeah, they were
I
like,
remember
"Oh, you're
this."
so
कैसे किया इसने?
Huh, bro? And then everyone was because it's such a weird thing, bro. Like, it's like
It is a very sensitive thing. See, is it right or wrong? I don't know. Look, I think virginity is a social kind of a
Construct.
not a construct as such. Of course, scientifically they'll tell you there's a hymen that gets ruptured even if you do horse riding or cycle or exercising or skip. वो भी होता है. It's virginity. Let's define it as having had sex or not having had sex. Okay. Do you know why it's okay? Why there is so much of moral policing on women's virginity versus men's?
I feel like one key aspect might be because there is, for a woman, there is a little bit more of a sacred lens to the whole act. And
Why?
just the physical action of it, I think.
What about it?
It's so even when it comes to, let's say, cheating, if you're in a relationship and the woman cheats, it's looked at as like, oh fuck, like she. But if a guy cheats, it's just like, okay, whatever.
Okay, why? You're getting closer to it. Think why?
Because I think for the woman in
What is different when a woman has sex?
She's taken.
No.
I feel like maybe how
it's a more vulnerable position to be though.
Why?
I feel like society looks
Why?
at like a woman differently after
Why?
because they're not given the same
There's multiple
value as a man
reasons.
No, there's
has.
one. There's only one reason.
So you say?
She can get pregnant.
What?
She can get pregnant. Now let me tell you this. In a world before DNA testing, before any of the only way to ensure paternity is that the only man who has had sex with this woman is you. There is no premarital sex. There is no extramarital sex. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And our society is structured better. It's a patriarchal society. So it goes from father to son or father to kid, right? So to ensure that the patriarchal chain, the only way, that's why after weddings in some cultures, they used to hang the blood-stained white chadar. The burial bed is white chadar, and
in a celebratory
just
fashion.
to fucking to prove that she was a virgin. If she doesn't bleed, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So understand that there is a moral policing of the womb, of the vagina, much more because of reasons like this. This is not the only reason, but now does it make sense?
Yeah.
Why the fact that a woman can get pregnant, and why is it that will also tell you that why is it that a man can get marrying outside the religion is okay, but a woman marrying outside the religion is not. A lot of times, political parties also say ki beti bachao bahu lao. Have you heard that? Beti bachao
Yeah,
bahu
bahu
lao.
हाँ.
Which means
Provide
stop
for the-
your women from marrying outside the religion, marry women outside the religion and make them bahus. You know why?
Yeah.
Whoever comes out of that womb will be born into the religion of the father.
Right.
Correct.
Right? So this whole thing is so with women it gets very, 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 very complicated because there's centuries of socio-religious kind of fuck-ups in there. But if you were to look at sex itself and virginity itself, it's not really a big deal. But
Yeah.
what is according to you, what's a good age? ये तो बोलेगा 16, this fucking pedophile.
I was also 16, man.
Okay,
It's not like I was.
Fucking pedophile. How is he a pedophile?
He's like,
He's 16 himself.
Oh, now he's.
I want to tell you something funny about Indian law. If a man has sex outside his marriage, and if a woman has both are cheating, but the woman is who goes to jail? Who's the case against? It's against the man, not the woman.
Right.
If the woman is underage, the boy is underage, it is still a crime, and it's against the boy, not the girl. Again, this has to be. I will put it out there for all the fact checkers.
Fact checkers.
I think there is a law that really goes against the men here. Having said that,
Age.
what age do you think? And ignore the age that you lost your virginity, because of course you'll think that's okay.
No,
And I'm not talking about marriage now. I'm only talking about having sex.
Age of consent.
Not
essentially.
consent. What age
Chal,
do you
consent is-
Consent to is 18 only, of course.
Yeah, but उससे नीचे consent नहीं माना जाता. तुम समझ रहे हो? You can give consent, but it's not valid.
Right.
Right.
That's
हाँ.
legally.
Yeah,
right?
legally.
So
Right.
forget law. Legal
I think
छोड़ो.
18 would be a fine age.
Yeah, to have sex for boys and girls.
Yes.
But the problem with that is you hit puberty at 13, 14. That's when you know what sex is and you start having urges. And so it's like that period.
But then it's
If
easier
your
for you
body
to...
is giving you those urges, like any other animal, like if you were-
100%,
they
100%.
start having sex as soon
Yeah.
as they start
Yeah.
feeling
But they
urges.
don't live in this kind of societies that we're
Right.
living in. So there are repercussions to,
Right.
for teenage pregnancy. Over there,
That's why.
Right.
That's what when I was like 16 pe, if you get pregnant, you're...
So that's where like sex education comes in, right? That's
sex education is all. Achha, so you're saying
What is the
why
age
are you saying
according to
18?
you?
I don't know. I'm investigating it with you guys. I'm discussing
Okay.
it.
I
आप
feel
बताओ
like
कि
18 is a-
18 क्यों बोला आपने?
मेरे हिसाब से I think that there's a certain amount of growth that like people go through till.
Does the fact that you can drive, you can vote, you can marry at 18, you can drink, does that have
impact
anything to do with this?
No.
but
I didn't consider those aspects when I said that.
I would disagree with that because I was an idiot at 18 also. I was an idiot at
still an
16.
idiot.
And I'm
Yeah,
still an
obviously.
idiot.
If people did not fuck idiots, we would go extinct as a race.
No, but I'm saying I'm less of an idiot now. But
You'll be
so-
less of an idiot 10 years from now, but that doesn't.
No, for sure. But like when you say, for example, if you said 25, you could make an argument that that's when your prefrontal cortex
Has
developed,
developed
and that is making you smarter.
Boss, prefrontal cortex पे आ गया तो very good. So there is this saying that God has given man two brains, one with the prefrontal and enough blood to run only one at a time. तो prefrontal cortex को उससे कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है? So yeah, you're right. That's the case for 25, but
But then that's again,
That's-
it's your physical. Like,
What
if
do you think?
18, 19 only. Because mine was then.
I think not like sexual deprivation is a big issue, especially in India, and it causes
Why
a lot
especially in India? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
because in
It is-
like I said,
No, it's all over the world.
for sure, but in India it's more prevalent because
No,
sex
no,
is
no.
taboo.
Sex is taboo, but sexual deprivation पे कैसे आ गए तुम?
मतलब
Sexual depravity का क्या मतलब है?
in India,
people here aren't. I don't feel
in India, most men have sex only when they've gotten married.
But
And
that's not depravity. Depravity का आपने गलत word use किया है.
अच्छा,
Frustration की बात कर रहे होंगे आप शायद.
maybe.
Alright.
yeah.
No, but I think
No,
what he's
what-
trying to say is till
because
a certain
sex-
point in a man's life, he is not going to have sex
Unless
For
they pay
a lot
it.
of
Unless they
men
pay
in
for it.
India.
unless
Yeah.
they want to pay for it or unless they want to go and commit some dirty crime and
Yeah.
behave like an animal. बहुत लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा है वो
And
करने
that
को.
causes a lot of
They
fuck
don't
ups
get
in
the
society.
option only.
They don't get the
It's
option.
not
Is one
like
thing
that,
they don't know how to
but so
conduct
that's only
themselves to make it
depraved,
happen.
na?
So today
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And while we stopped, can we ask for more black coffee? Please,
Yeah.
thanks. इसको बोल दे. And we'll keep
उसमें
talking.
है थोड़ा सा अभी भी.
ये ठंडा है.
वो तो ये गर्म पानी भी.
Mate, we'll just put everything
Yeah,
to.
ठीक है.
हाँ यार, refill करा दो. This is okay. You guys are enjoying this
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Because I haven't seen your episode. So मुझे पता नहीं. Is this fucking boring?
You can talk about whatever the fuck you want. It's chill and we're willing to have a conversation.
कॉफी का बैच बनाने को बोलना युगू को.
Even if we know squat about what you're saying, we'll ask you questions.
ये माहिर आएगा. माहिर, you're here, right? Okay. Hi. Where are you? कब आया? Oh fuck. Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
man.
bro.
Krishna. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Stuvi. So how's it going?
It's going well. नहीं सब ठीक है. I mean, I would have loved for you to hang out, but यहाँ जगह है नहीं.
I know.
तो आराम से chill मार.
Cool. Let me know when you guys are
Yes,
done.
yes.
Could you just shut the door, please? Thank you.
Right. Shall we start? Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
Now, I just want today, with the help of your audience, to arrive at an age which we agree it's okay to have sex, whether you're married or not, and not feel guilty about it. And this has nothing to do with society, your parents, religion, or law at all. Let's see if we can separate the act of having sex from all these fucking monitors, of all these fucking people who are just monitoring it and
Telling you
controlling.
when it's
हाँ,
right.
Let's separate it.
Huh.
18. But I think 18 has you're influenced by the thinking that at 18 you are
18 is
mature
an
enough to
adult,
make your own
anything-
decisions. So you're saying, yeah, legal definition se chalte hain, 18 pe you should be able to have sex, whether you're married or not. Is that what you're saying? That's an okay point of
Yeah.
view to have. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay to say.
What was your age?
Different countries have different
I think I was 18.
ages.
No, man. You're younger.
17 maybe.
There are countries in which 13 is the age of consent.
I think that's Japan. Japan
I think
or
they've
Korea.
changed
Yeah,
it.
Japan's
I
a
think
So
they've
they don't
changed
want
it
people to have
16.
sex na there. They don't encourage people
kids-
to have sex.
Yeah.
हाँ बहुत घटिया बात है
yeah.
but like
No, but we were talking about sexual frustration.
Yeah, what
And-
about it?
And that's like it's prevalent here. So, like, what's to be done about that? Because here, guys are scared of talking to girls in the first place because we're always.
यार योर अभी ना दो तीन चीज़ें हो रखी है. I'll come at it from a social point of view and I'll come at it from a technological point of view also. Socially, there is a warped sex ratio. तो डिमांड सप्लाई का इशू है. Alright? Cultural, you're not allowed to have sex. So there's a taboo. So it becomes a guilty pleasure to you invite. Then technologically आओगे तो there's porn, which is so freely available right now that you are desensitized to sex, to
Right.
the thing that excites you doesn't excite you after a while. You have to go further. You have to go further. You have to go further for that same kick, same dopamine, serotonin kick. You know what I'm saying? And in my day, the porn was so difficult to find. All my friends had this. There was this magazine, Indian magazine called Debonair. Do you know that? Debonair. It was the Indian Playboy, where it was about articles, and then there were centerfolds which had topless Indian women.
Wow, I didn't know this.
भाई साहब 70s 80s की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. At that time, they used to be.
You guys would circulate it
Everybody
around.
had their own collection.
Born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, it was difficult, bro. You had to find a guy who had. Oh, तेरे पास है.
How expensive was it?
We had no money. So you understand, there was no money. तो expensive की बात नहीं, लोग पैसे जोड़ते थे. Then there were these things.
Watch
called,
it in groups. You used to watch
I'll tell you what we watched in groups. We used to call
Oh boy.
unfiltered, right?
Yeah.
Blue films बोलते हैं, right? अभी तो you call it like whatever porn, just
Yeah.
regular porn. But उस time क्या होता था? Some people, there was something called a VHP player. तो एक VCR and VCP,
Yeah.
video cassette recorder, video cassette player. So people had them at home. If you didn't have them, you can rent it.
Yeah.
All right? और उसमें सारी फिल्में होती थी, बट इनके पास एक वो भी होती, समथिंग कॉल्ड XX and something called XXX. XX is soft porn, soft core.
Like on the
XXX
with the
is
clothes on. a
hardcore.
little bit.
हाँ, मतलब
There's no
Dry humping and all.
penis and all those.
so boys जब पता चलता यार मेरे पेरेंट्स नहीं है 2 दिन तक या ऐसा कुछ है, so we all used to सब ने गुल्लक तोड़ के निकाल के पैसे वैसे जोड़ के, और पहले तो तुम्हें दोस्ती बनानी पड़ती थी VCR वाले से कि यार वो डाई हार्ड दे रहा डाई हार्ड तो
Emphasis on the hard.
लेके देगा, and then we all used to watch it. That was the only way. I really think I miss the good old days. It's not that. I just feel that porn is the free availability of porn has huge impacts on how we view sex, how we view the other gender,
Yeah.
and our attitude to sex, and combine that with the taboo restriction of society and the free availability of this. It's just a cocktail of weirdness. Right?
Yeah.
It's so fucked
Everybody's
up
a
that
freak.
it's and I think now people are slightly waking up to the consequences of
No.
like watching porn,
I
but
don't
it's
think
still
so.
not.
I mean, nahi.
On a larger spectrum, maybe not, but I feel like in urban areas,
Bro,
hai
as
thoda.
a person and as a guy, because that's the experience that I've had, porn is probably top 3 worst things that you can do to yourself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right?
It really
Other
is.
than hard drugs and like I would make an argument that some drugs are better than porn.
Drugs, porn is much more easily available
Yeah.
than drugs. So
Yeah.
Because it will, if you're like a regular consumer of porn, it will fully
you're an
destroy-
addict. People are addicts.
If you're an
Yeah,
addict,
people are addicted
it
to
will fully destroy your ability to have any significant relationships.
True.
Also, the physical
Just changes
consequences,
your-
or just like your productivity and you can't function as a efficient human being in society if you're a active consumer
Facts.
of porn.
It's really, yeah.
That's why Don John, bro, like they've shown it so well in that.
Yeah.
Don John's that Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett
movie.
Johansson.
I think I made the conscious decision of not watching porn 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
None of us watch porn.
None of
like,
us
no,
watch it.
That's not.
What kind of a stupid company am I keeping in Nicolo?
Sorry for
But we recognize
disappointing
the
you.
evil that it is and chosen
Especially
to drop
after
it.
you have
know.
sex, like
Yeah,
for,
and it
for real,
changes
you're like,
your-
oh shit.
Yeah.
Also, for you, sex is it's more easily available, accessible. I won't say available, more easily accessible than it was for generations. You never fucking.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people, porn is the closest thing they'll get to sex, and that's so fucked up. Because porn is like devoid of love, and sex
Yeah,
is
but then
supposed
not
to be a
everybody
concept.
finds
It's
love.
not
yeah.
about
Not
love.
everybody finds this thing. You do want release. The only thing is, it's
But is
addictive.
everyone looking?
It's devoid of the connection. Like a human element is only missing.
But let's remove the connection of love with sex. Why are we keeping it? I'll tell you
Not
something.
saying love,
There is a term. I forget the term for it. I'll remember and tell you. Somebody who needs to have emotions to have sex, to feel sexual arousal.
It's
Demo,
called
what is it?
Demisexual.
Demisexual.
Yeah.
Demisexual. I am a demisexual now, but I wasn't. I don't think it's normal. It's natural. I think it's very natural for many people to have sex and then feel bad about it later on, but like I did. But
there are still feelings. There's still feelings.
yeah, we have, I think, hooked emotions onto sex as a necessity. Yes, emotional attachment leads to beautiful sex,
Yeah.
but you don't need that to have sex.
But don't you think you still need intimacy? It might not be.
I think sex is
It shouldn't be like a
I think sex is
mechanical-
like pooping, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You just have to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it
Some
becomes-
people do it
Explains
both at the
the-
same time.
Yeah, poop sex. Now, what I'm saying is, it's a natural instinct.
Oh,
I
man.
think we have attached too much. कितना complicate कर दिया बहनचोद,
मैं
है ना?
ये लड़कियों को यही बोलता हूँ. Like,
Send him this clip, bro, next time.
That's your pickup line.
Yeah.
Tell her that.
So
dude,
no,
you want me to watch porn? Huh? You want me to watch porn? No, right? So come.
No, but that is interesting that this has come up because a lot of the times when you're talking to someone and you're hitting on them, you're hoping that it'll lead to sex at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And some people are just like you're attracted to them, but you don't want it to go anything further than like hooking up. I've made it a conscious decision to let this be known because guys, that
I only want to hook up with you. Hooking up, define
But it's
that.
casual.
no, that I'm not
Hooking
in a
up
place.
means you'll kiss, but you won't go any further. Is
No,
that it?
No,
No,
hooking up
we
means
will
having
have
sex.
sex,
He'll
but
have sex, but
there
not
might
a
not be a
relationship.
committed relationship after
Yeah.
it.
Huh.
So like I think it's important for you to let your intentions be known because a lot of guys use this, they like bait the girl into
They lie.
making them think like I love you, this and that. I think that's a very fuck all approach.
There's a saying that women have sex to get into relationships. Men get into relationships to have sex.
Yeah. Yeah. I think guys need to kind of stop doing that.
Yeah.
It'll get you in a very fuck all situation.
I think I'd love to from your young audience on the comments anonymously या कुछ भी हो तुम लोग इतना hate weight डालते हो. Just talk to us about your thoughts on sex, virginity, age, society, जो भी हो. Because I'm really curious about this generation, what it means. What do you think? What are your attitudes towards relationships, towards sex?
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated because this is the first in the history of existence.
Right.
Yeah.
This kind of a surplus.
You seem very like disconnected with the youth and like how they
I
think
am
and-
now.
Which
I
is
feel-
strange because like we've grown up seeing you.
I have always been, I consider myself a champion of the youth. I've always been somebody who says, don't tell the youth that they're not living up and understand them. Try and understand the youth. I've always been that guy. Talked for them.
Then why this disconnect now?
Because social media came and it caused mental health issues in me.
Okay.
And the world has gone very fast in a direction where it has become so natural, so organic to life, and I have cut myself off. I can no longer pretend that I understand what it feels like to be an influencer. I can't pretend that. It's a fucked up, weird way to live a life, according to me. But who am I to decide that? If people are doing it and they're enjoying it, fine, let them do it. I don't understand it. So now I'm like, I have not grown up in this world. I will not pretend to understand. So, like bullying, in my day, we used to get bullied in school, in our playground, घर के बाहर जाते थे, कई बार घर पे, with our elder brothers and stuff like that. Today, kids are getting bullied everywhere, right? Every platform you're facing bullying. Sex, again, everything is so different. So that's why I feel I am disconnected. But I still come from a place of trying to understand. I am not being judgmental here. I am not saying you guys are fucked up. हमारे ज़माने में अच्छा होता था. That bullshit I'm not. I will always say I want to understand. I want to support.
Right.
But I am disconnected because I have closed myself from the outside world ever since my son is born.
No, you're right. You're right when you say it's a fucked up way to live life. Because honestly speaking, and I've said this multiple times, if we weren't doing this, I would be off every social media platform because I don't enjoy it. I don't
It's
think
okay to work is good, but people anyway.
It's a great tool. I think
I have seen people. There's a place in Goa. मैं लेता हूँ.
No, we need the water also. The kettle. I was waiting for
There
you
are
to get the
these
kettle.
places all over the world where the view is supposed to be fantastic. आज की डेट में तुम जा नहीं सकते because it's all about people, influencers taking selfies. You're never experiencing the world. You're looking at it through this
Being
thing.
in the moment kind
Maybe
of.
that is the new experience. I don't know. It's
but
not for
that's
me.
also come from a place of.
I don't have any pictures of me or anything like that, because I'm trying to experience. But
Yeah.
you were saying
Well, there's
something.
supply and demand in this matter as well. Whereas there was a time that is very strong. Huh?
Yeah, this will
so
be very
you should
strong.
have mix some water in it.
तुम बच्चे
I'll
हो,
just
ठीक
call
है?
Very
Shut the fuck up, man. Let the man have his coffee.
There is supply and
I'll
demand.
ask
There
them
is
to
a
get the kettle.
demand for content like that, or just content in general. Because let's say you're talking about Europe, you're talking about Egypt, or places that people travel to. There's a huge segment of the population that will never be able to travel there, and this is the closest thing that they'll get to it, living it through
Vicariously. it's called.
vicariously through
Other people.
influencers, and that's why
Through
they exist.
influencers.
That's why they exist. That's why.
यार influencer
sell
अलग
a
चीज. Okay,
dream,
okay, okay. I will want to separate content creators from influencers. ठीक है? Let me separate that. People who create content in the food space, in the travel space, in the space of, let's say, in podcasting, for example, I believe they're giving value. They're educating. They are opening up. कुछ तो है और entertaining. उसका
Yeah.
बहुत value है. मैं इन्फ्लुएंसर से मैं वो कह रहा हूँ कि एक ना डॉक्यूमेंटिंग योर लाइफ फॉर ब्रांड्स टू स्पॉन्सर यू. ठीक है? तुम्हारे इतने मिलियन फॉलोअर हैं. दैट बिकम्स अ टैलेंट इन इटसेल्फ. आज की डेट में दैट्स अ न्यू टैलेंट. You go to anybody who's casting, you go to anybody. जब मैं shows बना रहा होता I'm talking to platforms. Okay, as a host, let's get this. They will give me these names that I say, why? What have they? But उनकी इतनी following है. So, what have they done to make you think that they can handle something like this? No, but they have a following like that. Following has replaced talent.
Facts.
Has replaced capability, caliber. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And following is a stupid way to evaluate you, because a girl with a deep cleavage will always have a better fucking following than you, no matter what you're talking.
Yeah.
तुम astrophysics को ले लो और Kardashians को ले लो. So it's such a weird thing to base
the
worth
assumption is that okay, अगर इसके पास ये है, so then obviously उसने कुछ करके ही वो.
But वही तो
that is
गलत
the
है.
wrong-
वही तो मैं कह रहा
It's a wrong assumption, because there is an added layer to that. There is a quality of followers also. So I would say influencer who let's call everyone influencers here. There is an influencer who's a science influencer and talks about scientific studies and this and that.
Okay.
And he makes reels about it. He has 10,000 followers versus a girl who's a model or Instagram model, 150,000 followers, shows cleavage, shows whatever the fuck she wants. Now the 150,000 people who have followed her
Or
versus
people like Andrew Tate and guys who, let's not just what's it called, लड़कियों पे नहीं सिर्फ आते हैं. Even guys who are saying girls are bitches, वो भी एक influencer.
Correct.
जो भी हो, I'm saying, I've said that because Andrew Tate also, you can say he's giving opinions and he's giving some, they may be wrong, but that girl isn't giving opinions. It could be a guy who's making like bullshit
No,
skits also.
they're both appealing to your baser instinct of wanting something that you don't have in your life. We'll come to that later,
Right.
but okay.
So I'm saying those 10,000 followers, the value of those 10,000 followers is much higher.
Not for brands.
Brands are becoming smart now.
I hope so, man.
So
I hope so.
will tell you, because we've worked with brands, we have around 200 something thousand followers on Instagram, and we have friends who are influencers and creators. We get paid the same amount to post a reel as an influencer with 1 million followers who's just like doing influencer activity.
Because he's not engaging with his following. Is that right?
Because the
It could be
following
that
aspect.
so people look at your insights, they see where your followers are from, what's their age. So now for our followers which are from Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Hyderabad, tier 1 cities, 18 to 24 predominantly, and our content is mostly English. So that is an indicator for the brands that, okay, this is the audience that I want, and this is the audience that I want to reach, and this is a more valuable audience for me, because all of this signifies a higher spending power and this and
नहीं,
that.
but मैं इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ये एक कंटेंट क्रिएट कर रहे हो आप. एक वो होता है कि आज मैंने ये जूते पहने, आज मैं इस फ्लाइट में जा रही हूँ, आज मैंने ये कपड़े पहने,
But वो बहुत
ये
short-lived
ट्रेंड चल
होता
रहा है
है.
तो मैं नाच रही हूँ, मैं रोड के बीच में अब ऐसा कर रही हूँ या कर रहा हूँ. These guys, this is what I'm trying not to judge them because according to me, it's a stupid way to live your life. But I'm trying to understand that there must be something that they're doing because here's the deal. Influencing can give you an advantage against the system because here's the deal. Look at Bollywood. Sirf usi family mein aayega. Why will anybody else get cast? Right? You're breaking that by having an extraordinarily high following. Now you're being cast. Now again, you're not talented as an actor. Aisa nahi hai. But you're getting chances. You're gaming the system.
Correct.
You are overcoming the shortcoming of not being born in that group. It's very insular. There is a lot of nepotism. But influencing can break that. You can game the system. Having said that, there are actors who are really good who are not getting an opportunity because they are not able to game the system like this. They will never have these kind of followings. They are not born in those families, and they'll never have that kind of following.
Yeah.
So now, yes, there is something that but it's not talent. It is following.
I also feel like consumers people who are watching these people who are doing these dances and all, I feel like most of the internet is just like blatantly ridden with insecurity and people who want to like
it's just
consume
people
rubbish.
spend too much time on their phones and there is a demand for almost anything. Even the people who shake their ass and this and that, there is too many people who do it. Not everyone makes it. So even the ones who make it, I would say they have some talent. I don't know how valuable that talent is. To gain a following not everyone can do it.
There's this artist called Monica Dogra.
We know her.
You know, right? Her reel came in my
feed,
Explore.
which is unusual. Normally nahi aata hai, ye wala hai. And I know her. And I was surprised to see her in a towel. And she was talking about something. Now, I don't even remember what she was talking about. Okay? But there's a point to it. She said something. And I was like, because I was saying that's unusual. That's very unlike her. It's not like you can see anything.
Right.
Nothing. But because she's in a towel, the insinuation is that she's just come out of this shower. Maybe she's not wearing something underneath. That's the insinuation. That happened. Then the next few days later, another reel came of her saying, wherever I go for any streaming service or any management, they say improve your numbers, your social
Presence
media
as well.
following and all that. Okay. So I did that video in a towel. Okay. It is the most viewed reel I have ever made. Any content I made, usse zyada. What has that told you about my singing? What has that told you about whether I can sing or not? Whether you sign me or not is based on whether I'm wearing a towel or not. And I thought that was an amazing way of making a statement.
Yeah.
Okay? So the point is not what she was saying in the first reel. The point is that the second reel is the point. And that is what I mean by saying that views, likes, follows have replaced talent.
It's
Caliber.
yeah.
So when you say unme kuch to talent hoga, I disagree. I do not see the evidence for that. I can break that algorithm by flashing a cleavage. Not I, but
so
That'll be crazy if you
people
do.
can.
That is talent then if you can. No, bro, what I'm trying to say, there is a lot of girls who will post pictures like that, but they don't have the following. They don't have it. They don't.
But they're doing it because they want to get
the
there.
algorithm and where it's the point also.
Wait. That does not disprove the fact that it gets more views than something else.
Of course, no, but
Yeah.
there's a demand. There is a
Sex sells
unlimited
at all
demand for
times.
sex. So how are you gonna I think social media and the kind of follows and numbers that people get, that just signifies attention, right? If you have more followers, you've garnered more attention, right?
Yeah, I'll ask you again. You're right, but what are you doing to hold their attention? For example, let's say Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, he's explaining the concept of solar eclipse to you. That is one. And there is this woman talking in a towel. All right. तो बात तो लोग तो इसे देख रहे हैं ना.
वो सही है. But I'm saying the numbers on social media, they kind of represent human behavior and what they're drawn towards.
But that's fucked up. If I was to get up from here, climb on this, unzip, and pee on your head, you shot all that, I promise you, that'll be the most viewed
Yeah,
episode of
yeah.
yours. तुम्हारी गांड फट जाएगी, you'll never be able to match
That's
it.
because people like seeing.
You'll never be able to
shit.
match it, right? That's what I'm saying. If I was to take a dump in this hole,
Yeah.
बन गई तुम्हारे career, ठीक है? But then I'm asking you again, what's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point of that
There is-
viewership, that
that's
episode?
fucked up, but
That's
that's,
yeah.
the thing. Human beings are fucked up creatures. They like seeing weird
So
shit.
you're saying that it's okay to game the system, log to chutiye hain. I'm okay with that. I mean, is that what you're saying? You're saying that
Yeah.
But the thing is, matching this, like if you come take a shit on this for us, we'll have to, 3 of us will have to take a shit next time. So it's something that you can't match
it's
up.
like it's the Jerry Springer
मैं तो
phenomenon.
खुद बोल रहा हूँ मेरे को सभी अजीब लग रहा है. I'm just trying to make sense out
Yeah.
of it. And that's all.
I don't think you need to make sense out of it, bro. Just तेरे को जो अच्छा लग रहा है वो ठीक कर. You will
But-
have soft limits and hard limits even here. If it's a hard limit, don't do it. Don't shit on its table.
My way
Just
of combating it or dealing with it is I put out my own content which I think is nice or which I think is good, and I'm like, see, this is this shit show. This is my piece in this shit show, and I hope people watch it, people consume it, and I will try to put the best work that I can.
Okay.
That's.
But it's always been like this. Like there's always that standout where there's something so ratchet or something so loud. Always it gets the attention of people.
Yeah, why
It's
do we
just
like watching
translated-
fight videos?
Yeah, it's
Like
just
people beating-
translated
So
for generations.
I'll actually तुम्हारा दिमाग थोड़ा सा हिलाता हूँ मैं. Poonam Pandey died,
Yeah,
and then she came back to life.
yeah.
What do you think of that?
I hate it
Why?
We've had her on the show.
Why do you hate it?
because I found it extremely immoral.
So I spoke to a doctor, and he said the inquiry and awareness went up like it skyrocketed.
I said
वो
it,
जो
bro.
करने निकली ना उसने कर दिया. It might be in bad taste according to your taste, according to my taste also. Who knows?
But it worked.
It worked for that cause. It may have worked for her also. Maybe she's a shock jock. She likes shocking. It's on brand for her as well. I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You're judging it. But it worked. It's a stunt that worked.
I said it as
Wo-
soon as it happened.
See, the only reason why we're looking at it in even slightly slightly decent light is because it had something to do with cancer. If I was, let's say I'm releasing a song tomorrow and
Yeah.
then I say, बेंचोद मैं तो मर गया हूँ, मेरे गाने में
हाँ तो
ट्यूमर
but
है.
उसने
But
कैंसर
she
के लिए
did
किया
it
ना.
for a reason.
No,
na.
but wait, let's go there. Does the reason justify the stunt? If I was to shit on your table for fucking education, child education, is that okay?
I mean,
I'm just saying,
there needs to be
girls are getting
there needs to be a correlation.
Why? Who decides that correlation, bro?
नहीं, अगर see
Because see, they said that she died of
from that disease.
And that's the reason why.
अबे तो बात तो सुनो ना. If she's died from that disease, and let's say people look at her as a young woman, she's what 30 in her 30s or I don't know, early 40s, which is a young age to die, right? And you've died from this disease suddenly.
Just listen to me. It's a shock. You have shocked someone by doing that.
Yeah.
By virtue of her
Right.
being young and dying of it,
Right.
without you have created. Oh, shock.
How is this
here.
possible?
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'll create that shock for this
But-
cause. Does that make it okay?
No, but then your
But the
shock
correlation
factor, there
is-
is no relation to girl child education, ना.
तुम इसमें लॉजिक ढूंढ रहे हो यार. तुम
अबे तो लॉजिक ही है ना, क्योंकि अगर she's died from this disease, a lot of women saw that and said, "Fuck, I need to get checked."
if I make a shit pizza, all right,
Okay.
and say if 100,000 girl children are sponsored, we will eat this shit pizza.
Let's do it.
Well, it depends on what you've eaten last night.
It's recycling, bro.
See, if you've eaten corn last night, you know we're getting corn.
We are conservationists. Green earth.
I'll come clean. I said let's do it just to prove my point.
Yeah.
But I feel like these examples are very
It's a
different.
stunt. But who are you to judge that stunt is okay, this stunt is not okay? Up. You know, every
बात ही तो कर रहे हैं
every
ना.
time somebody does something, na, your boundary
Rationalization.
shifts. Your boundary
Yeah.
shifts. Now this is acceptable. Now you have to do something outside of this. Now that kar diya, boundary has shifted.
Okay, but see, another layer to this is you're talking about Poonam Pandey. ठीक है? She's there is no expectations from her in terms of like no one expects anything out of her in the first
How
place.
do you think she is not the smartest person you've ever met?
I've met her.
Yeah, so how
We
do you
had a
not think
very
that
nice-
maybe she's smarter than anyone else? that
She
you
is
met?
smart.
She is smart.
So
she knows what
expectation
her
nahi hai,
perception
she
is.
has given you that of saying don't expect anything else from me.
Yeah, that she knows that's the perception of her in the general
She's
public
built that
because
thing,
she's put that kind of
So
work
your
out
point
there.
was what? Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah.
The point was that when you're someone who has almost nothing to lose, you're like, okay, I will do this.
No. You're assuming she has nothing to lose. That's an assumption. You don't have evidence for that. It's your opinion.
Why do you think she has nothing to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of this, like if people, the kind of people who follow her, they won't give a fuck about anything that she says or does. They will still follow her because she is this.
Are you trying to say that she has no more credibility to lose? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that I can.
She's
take.
not like
That I
a
can
credible
take.
person. She's not.
Yeah, no one. I don't think no one
She's-
values a Poonam Pandey opinion. Maybe is that what it
मेरी बात बताओ, अगर ये माधुरी दीक्षित ने बोला होता कि आप कर लो ये इस कैंसर के बारे में, ठीक है, क्या उतने लोग करते?
It wouldn't make sense.
So then पूनम पांडे को तो ये करना ही पड़ा ना.
Hmm.
अगर माधुरी दीक्षित के, so I'm not defending it. When I found that this was a stunt, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I know her also.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I spoke to the doctor, now अब मेरा दिमाग थोड़ा हिल गया है. What? I mean, is it good? Is it bad?
Bro, but
what is it?
At the same time, it's like cervical cancer awareness campaigns have been there. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है
They
कि
have
this
not
wa-
worked like this.
They haven't worked like this.
Exactly.
So like if you have to see this is done in a country where people just won't listen. So you have to kind of shock them into, and it's one of the only things that resonate with the people of our country is shock value and just like big boss type situations where people are like,
A lot of people will accuse me of being that shock value as well with Roadies.
yeah, you were one
I
of the.
don't think I was.
No, but
I
don't
can't deny
package
that.
like
Wait,
that.
But I could be
Wait.
wrong. I could.
Like the characters that the two of you played, or like
that was me.
It was y'all. Of course, it was.
It's a part of me.
It's a part of you. But like you said, had that shock value. It was an awe of what you guys would do next. It would come like that to us.
I don't think if I was talking to them the way we're talking here, I don't think it would have had that kind of impact.
wouldn't.
Exactly.
But I want to tell you something. I didn't do it to make that impact. Actually, it was never going to be shown. पहला audition दिखाया third season में. हम तो दिखाने ही नहीं वाले थे. So it wasn't aimed at. There was no precedent to say that this will work. You know what I'm saying? ये हम ऐसे कर रहे थे, अब स्पॉन्सर कमिटमेंट थी एपिसोड्स की, हमने दिखा दिया. It worked. उसके देखा था कि बहुत लोगों ने किया ये उस टाइम पे. They didn't work. I really think that I think there needs to be a fine balance of substance and shock. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is shock needed? It's not. अब मेरा तो I'm not into it.
वो time पे it was shocking for us because it was the first time that we were seeing something like that
Unfiltered.
on TV that too because TV wasn't the place where and वो time पे YouTube का कोई scene था ही नहीं. YouTube था but उसमें music videos
उससे
देखता
पहले
था.
ये था. हाँ.
This was back then.
That was like my dad would stream music videos on it. Like he'd wait for an hour for the video to stream and then we would watch it together. But for this to come on TV where just MTV as a whole was our first window into college humor, if you were to call it that.
Not humor, college
Content.
talk.
Yeah, just like talk stuff about shit that young people are into. Then humor with people like Jose and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what started. And then later on, AIB was the first ones to do it in the digital space. But for us to see that, we were instantly hooked because we were like, they're talking about real shit that we care about to some extent, and also they're being so
there are people who'll
about it.
always आज तक मुझे I get messages about people who appreciate what we talked about and people who hate how we said it. They're both right.
Yeah.
I can't say anything to anyone.
सही है. Like even I don't want to hate on someone who has brought
मुझे अभी भी याद
awareness
है
towards the subject.
सबसे अजीब बात यह है कि तू कभी कश्मीर तू कभी त्रिवेंद्रम तू everybody who has a problem with me is inviting me. तू यहाँ पर आ, मैं नहीं लूँगा बेंच. मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा. तू यहाँ पर आ,
As
मेरे
per
को
my
देख,
convenience.
तब मैं तेरे को बजा डालूँगा बेंच. छोड़ूंगा नहीं तेरे को. Like, wow, what a tough guy.
Yeah.
What did you think of like people who tried confronting you on the show? Like there was, I remember I can't. What was his name? Yeah, but एक कोई knuckle duster लेके आया था वो.
उसके अगले साल आया था उससे
हाँ, he
apologize
came
किया.
with sorries. He had written like a.
मैंने भी उसको apologize किया.
हाँ.
मैंने सबको I said sorry and I put it on the show as well.
Yeah.
What do I think? यार मेरा एक चीज़ है, तुम मुझे जिस तरह मिलोगे ना, मैं तुम्हें उसी तरह मिलूंगा.
Right.
कोई स्वीटली आता था, हम उस बुलीड आता था, हम उसको प्यार करते. एक बंदा आया था राजू बाबू चौधरी, ही वो अपना वड़ा पाव का ठेला था उसका. रोडीज 9 की बात है, वॉच इट, इट्स ब्यूटीफुल. वो कहता है सर सबसे पहले एक बार स्माइल कर दो, बिकॉज मैं आई कम फ्रॉम अ वेरी पुअर फैमिली, और तुम अगर अभी चिल्लाओगे ना मेरी फट जाएगी. तो वी जस्ट गॉड अप हग्ड, उसको बस गोद में बिठा के हमने पूरा किया. जिस तरीके से तुम हमें मिलोगे मैं उसी तरीके से मिलूंगा. एक वो है. तो वो बंदा नकल डस्टर लेके आया, तो उसके बाद जो हुआ, ही इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट. I don't take responsibility for that. Having said that, there were times when if I like someone, I will now make it very intense, because everybody watching is a judge as well. उनके point of view से क्या इसको select होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए. And select वो तब होगा when now you are invested in this guy. Do you want him to see him succeed, or do you want him to see him fail? ये दोनों चाहिए. You have to care about this guy. For that, now I like this guy. I think I can, or girl. Now, and Rajiv knew it, Ranvijay knew it. We like it. Let's go.
Would you guys like discuss this?
हमारा कोड वर्ड्स होते थे, हम लिख देते हैं एक दूसरे के पैड पे लिखते थे. आई लाइक, टेक इट अप नाउ. अब यहाँ से ना इट विल बिकम फटाक 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 जाता रहेगा ऊपर. तुम्हें ना देखते हुए लगेगा ये चूतिया बनती है, ये जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. इट्स अननेसेसरी. हमारी नेसेसिटी है वो कास्टिंग करने के लिए. आई वॉन्ट टू ब्रिंग आउट अ रिएक्शन इन दिस पर्सन दैट यू विल केयर अबाउट. या तो वो रोएगा, या वो लड़ेगा, या वो कुछ कर देगा वो. That you will say, fuck, I want to see this guy or girl. So in those times, I have behaved in a manner which people will have a problem with. But I was doing my job, and I don't know, is it right, is it wrong? It's the same thing, influencing Poonam Pandey. Is it right, is it wrong? I don't know. I think if you hate me for what I did, guilty as charged. I'm not apologetic to you about it. But
You guys are just trying to get out the best in a person.
I was
most of the
making
time.
sure,
They're putting them in a situation where they'd see how they'd react. They're making a show, so they need to know how people are going to respond to certain situations.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys did this consciously or not, but sometimes
Stuvi, pass me a coffee.
you would make examples out of people who have said something really fucked up,
Yeah.
or they've written something in their form. Like that guy who came and said use and throw.
Use and throw.
Where he was talking to women, and you were like,
That guy definitely never got laid. Okay, let's just acknowledge that.
Look, he came across as not just misogynistic, but as a bully. Somebody who does not, who considers women as objects, subhuman. ठीक है.
Right.
अब उसके बाद जो हमारी, अब वो गुंडा है, वो कि हाँ मैं तो ये करता हूँ, तो उसको हम उसी तरीके से मिलेंगे. आई रिमेंबर वी सेइंग कि यार तेरे को लगता है हम MTV के 2 बड़े लोग बैठे होंगे, यहाँ शायद शरीफ लोग होंगे, ये कॉस्ट्यूम के कपड़े उतार दिए और वहाँ आ गया ना, तेरे से बड़े टपोरी हम, समझ गया. और वो बाहर आके बोल रहा था कि हाँ मेरे पूरा डर.
Bro, I use this line.
You have?
After watching it.
no,
There's a lot that.
In situations like that, were you trying to make an example, or were you just genuinely upset that you were like,
both. कई बार क्या होता है कि you try to change the heart and mind of a person in front of you. कई बार क्या होता है, you think this guy is beyond that. Okay. Now I'm talking about thinking about the people who are watching, right? It will impact them now. अब तेरे साथ जो होगा यहाँ पर, it will make people think. Okay, so ऐसा होता था.
and it worked. It really did.
I think
I
it worked, and some people learned, some people got pissed off. It says more about them than me, actually.
I mean, when we watched it, we were a little too young to understand, because this is when we were in our.
This was Roadies 5.
This is when you were
Roadies 5 is what
thinking
year?
of losing your virginity.
Even
No,
before
it was
that.
before that.
Roadies 5 is which year?
5 was 2008.
2008. I was
we
10.
were 10, yeah.
So we still watched it, because if we are at home alone, we're watching MTV and the auditions.
I was your pawn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Should I get more coffee, by the way?
Johnny Sims, yeah.
Get some baby
Johnny
oil, bro. Can I ask you one more question about these sort of characters that came on to the show? There was one guy who came on I think it was Roadies 8. His name was Harshit.
I remember.
And he was really grilled on that show, you know, and he was a rapper, and like he was he claimed to be very talented, and y'all like really shat on him. And now, I think a couple of years back, if I'm not wrong, during COVID time, we were all locked in, and YouTube was just the only thing I did. And I found a music video of this guy, this fucking Harshit only, and he's fucking fully like bougied up, and he's like doing well in his life, and
so like this guy, somebody came with gave a comment. अब ना मेरे को टैग किया, तो मेरे उसमें आया इंस्टाग्राम में, उसका म्यूजिक वीडियो था. अबे चूतिए, तू क्या अपने आप को समझता है? मेरा इंस्टा रघु जो हैंडल है, इसने तो तेरी गांड मार दी थी करके उसने, बिकॉज आई वॉज एट करके दिया था, तो मेरे आ गया. उसको कोट करके मैंने पोस्ट किया कि हर्षित, full respect to you. You have proved what you set out to prove, and you didn't let negative people like me stop you from achieving your this thing. I am proud of you. ठीक है? And he got back. एक और बंदा है जिसको मैंने स्वेटर वाले बाल बोल के, अभी वो एक्टर है.
हाँ वो उसका Big Boss में था वो,
सुयश. उसका एक वीडियो है.
I love the Roadies auditions either way.
So I went, उसका म्यूजिक वीडियो रिलीज हो रहा था. He invited me. I went, I took a picture and I put it out saying, dude, well done, you proved me wrong. Even though I wasn't there to tell him you can't do it. I said you can't do it to see how he'll react. मैं उसको वहाँ मारना चाहता था जो उसकी अकड़ है कि मैं तो ये हूँ, तू चूतिया है. Now what will you react? But उसके लिए तो वो सही था. And he proved me wrong. So whenever it's nothing personal. And when people actually do something, full respect to them. I am not a judge over there. I am actually, मेरा नाम judge है. But I'm actually trying to create a situation where you come under high stress, anxiety, कुछ भी हो, and then I want to see what you do.
Right.
It was all so cool, man. Like now that I'm thinking about, you guys created like this very cool thing.
I feel like the way I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of how the show like evolved after you and Rajiv were not a part of it. Abhi though, like now I don't watch now, so I'm not very aware. But it seems like it's more about, I feel like there's less personality that matters and more
Batman,
about
The Dark Knight Rises देखिए.
हाँ.
उसमें वो बेन के साथ लड़ाई करता है एक जगह पर. बेन बोलता है because you think because you have adopted the dark that it belongs to you. I was born in this dark. अभी क्या है, रोडीज का ना एक इमेज है, अब जो भी आएगा ना वो वैसा ही आएगा. वैसे कपड़े होंगे, वैसा स्वैग होगा और चिल्लाना एंड बट दैट्स नॉट यू. दे आर वेरी स्वीट पीपल. I was going through a fucked up time in my this thing, which I told you that guy was there to protect me.
Yeah.
He was an expression of my extreme rage and frustration with society, with God, with concepts that I thought I was lied to by society. So he came out, and that connected because I was honest. I didn't do it because I thought that it would work. There was no case study, like I said, that would tell me it would work. So, yeah, you're not connecting with it because it's not honest. I don't want to call Roadies dishonest. I think they're doing a great job and they're doing what they want to do. Right. It's fine. I just wish they found their own personality, because I think that's much more interesting.
Yeah.
Than trying to do something that you think works. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the reason why a lot of people are moving away from entertainment that comes on TV, and they're like going towards more like YouTube, where they get to have personalities. Like even with this show, the only reason it works is because there's 3-4 different personalities, and there is a community that is being formed, and they want to see these personalities come together with a famous personality. That I think that's the appeal of our show, honestly.
But you will find that as you grow bigger, you will feel the pressure to cater. You will. I felt it. That's why I left Roadies. Rajiv and I walked away because there was too much interference. Saying, no, you do it, scream at people, da. So that's why we walked away. It's either that, or you have to then dance. You have to dance to that tune. Karna padega. It's a good problem. That means you're a success. But now you're no longer you. You belong to them.
Were they not open to you and Rajiv like changing the way you approach the show, or like?
No, yaar. It had to be made a certain. Abhi if you see Roadies now, it is what they wanted to make. But it's not what I wanted to make.
Right.
But that's happens in any sort of a creative
Hoga. You'll
endeavor when the
always become-
stakeholders
yeah.
increase. There's more
Another
brands, more
Batman dialogue.
sponsors.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself
Yeah.
turn into the villain.
Yeah. I mean, I try to protect us from that because at the end of the day, there is no network that.
I
where-
hope it becomes difficult for you to protect yourself from that.
It is a little bit.
It is starting to become a little difficult, but
like when there's stakeholders, say a brand comes and they're like, "ये सब बातें मत करो, please, ये मत करो," then we're like, okay, then it's a decision to make.
ये at least ठीक मुद्दा है. Like ये बात मत करो क्योंकि we are sponsoring this episode. Fine, but like there were, I don't know if Anish told you. Anish is who manages everything. We did a brand reel, and it was not the most honest seeming clip that we've put out.
थोड़ा scripted
लगा, and I found it hilarious. So I just commented like laughing emojis on the video. And
Brand फाड़ देगा तू.
and then Anish was like, dude, can you please remove it? We don't want to like waste. And I was like, okay, relax.
it's our own stuff.
ठीक है, bro.
I know, it's a very small thing.
But
That's why I
maybe
said
the
I'll
minor
see it.
things become bigger as we
It will
go.
pile up,
Yeah.
but somebody will compound and become something
Hoga,
more.
Hoga. Now, yeah. The only thing is you have... See, there's a beginning where nobody cares, nobody watches you. You can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Then there's a space where it's big, people are noticing, they're investing money in you, you're making money, but now you have to be careful what you say, what you don't.
yeah.
Then there's a stage when you're bigger than this shit. Then people fucking give you money no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Look at
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais. Look at fucking Ali ji kaun hai apna? Bhai.
Sacha Baron
Sacha
Cohen.
Baron Cohen. Look at these guys. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
whose
what-
level?
It's my way or-
I wish you come there.
Yeah.
That's where you want to
Hopefully,
be because
thank you. That
Thank you.
also means a
Yeah.
lot.
you as long as you own your own distribution, then it's like,
No, you have to own your own revenue.
of course, and distribution, that's how you make money.
So,
Because now,
subscription. If people are
Could be
paying
a
you,
subscription.
even then you will have to, bro, dance. If they want you to fucking shock what is working, what's not working, जहाँ से पैसे आ रहे हैं, they will dictate, yeah.
yeah,
There has to be a place where we can dictate the terms.
Which is rare when money is involved.
That's what we have to get to. Na? That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
you can't even do it in your own sex life. How do you think?
Sala virgin.
I like how in this episode
It
has
suddenly
turned
goes back
because
to sex.
Stuvi is usually the guy they look at who Stuvi is the player. And in this episode they're like, fuck this guy
I'm the
virgin.
virgin.
कंचे खेलता है player.
That's so funny. Dude, how do you feel about, you know that you've become this like almost an iconic pop culture figure for our generation.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You
Like
don't
I
know?
said, I've.
Oh, you're away from
मुझे
Okay,
पता
yeah.
ही नहीं.
Oh,
But you say you
don't
have an
even-
Instagram account. And
Dude,
I do.
I watched yesterday. I looked up Raghu on YouTube and I was like, let's see what all comes. And your roast ka video came. I was like, let's revisit this masterpiece. Oh, that is so funny.
his
That is
roast
like-
was the best out of all these comics that
think
was
so?
there.
Thank you.
I really, you had one joke.
Is it the one with the Tanmay
where-
one? No?
Yeah. Where he goes, the Tanmay, the only way to get you to read something
Is
is
by giving you bail
if I
in
put
it.
bail in it. Read a newspaper.
That's such a good one, yeah.
That was such a good, because it's smart, you know, there was, but a lot of those jokes were crass.
I want to tell you something. They wrote these jokes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You
What
didn't know
the
this?
fuck? The AIB boys wrote this.
Damn.
So what they did is, they firstly
Hey,
like.
yaar, it shattered my
Raghu,
reality.
Listen, let me explain to you. Why? Karna, like I don't know who you guys are before today, right? I didn't know what Samay was before I fucking went on the thing.
Later.
I didn't know AIB. ठीक है, why? करो. Karega. I said, yeah, this sounds like fun, yeah. Okay, let's do jokes. I said, आजाओ. So someone used to come every day and sit with me. कि क्या joke? किसके बारे में? So it was not written by them. It was structured together.
Okay.
They knew it was going to happen. I knew the jokes that were going to be cracked on me.
Yeah.
And I told them, you're totally fine with going anywhere. I'm giving you carte blanche that you will not, उस पे नहीं जाओगे. किसी भी, there's no no-go area. Okay? But I said, I will not crack a joke on females. That's the only thing. So, when you say that I was better, my friend said you're like an innocent guy in there, because there was one female there and in the audience as well. I have not cracked even one. My jokes were cracked on the Prime Minister, the Bengal Chief Minister, all these guys, but those have been
Omitted from.
Yeah. I always punch up, so
Yeah.
I like that.
That whole
Apart
thing, bro.
from
That
calling them my fat.
Yeah, you have to
He
understand.
was fat, yes.
No, it was.
देख यार मेरे एक सेकंड अब मैं बॉल्ड हूँ, ठीक है, अब बॉल जोक्स हो गए जो टट्टों के, एसोल, बॉल्ड हेड, वो सब अब हैं तो भैंचो, ये फॉर्मेट ही ऐसा है रोस्ट का, तुम वहां पर सेंसिटिव नहीं हो सकते भैंचो, मोटा है तो मोटा है, गंजा है तो गंजा है भैंचो, मेक फन ऑफ इट.
Polite word to describe.
But did you see him now?
Now he's lost.
Has he lost weight?
Far.
Thin.
He's become like you.
Thin.
He's not become like me.
Almost like
More or less. Bro,
We met him recently only, no?
He's there in that
He met him
video.
last year,
अपना,
under 25.
India's Got Latent. He's there with me.
Okay.
So after AIB Roast, the two of us, we were there.
Oh.
In
For the
Latent.
first time after.
Dude, मैं हिल गया उसको देख के. He was just
Crazy, bro. He's like
He's had
transformation.
like phases, right, where he's been working out a lot and then
he
putting the
went
weight
all
back
in,
on.
bro. He went all in, and now he's lost weight. And
Sick,
he's,
I'm happy for him.
How was your experience on Latent?
I loved it.
Oh, what a
I loved
Did
it.
you find the concept very, since you don't consume too much media now,
मैं पहली बार
how was the concept to you?
I loved it. I think it's very, 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 very interesting. It's very creative. I love some of the things you guys are doing, man. You know, the kind of content is coming. Ye creativity was not encouraged in television back in the day. You had to, it was a mass medium. You had to appeal to everybody who's sitting in the room. Mother, grandmother, daughter, सबको तुम वही एक screen है, right? So it was very MTV at one time. Nobody watched us, so we could get away with a lot of shit. But when people started watching, then it changed. So I'm loving the fact what you guys are doing. Like I said, I'll always support this generation, and I really think a lot of it is shit, but some of it is really good.
That's what it's a break from traditional media. That's what's so appealing. Even shows like Latent blowing up, like the numbers that show does, it's on par with a lot of like traditional media shows.
Yeah, good. Abhi, it'll come to a place where he'll have to
Tone it down.
No, he'll have to kind of dance. वो उस लेवल पे जा रहा है, जा चुका है शायद.
It's like what happened with Kapil Sharma show, right?
Kapil Sharma was always that. वो हमेशा वैसा ही है.
नाच ही रहा था.
वो हमेशा वैसा ही है. नाच नहीं रहा है. That's who he is.
That's the
If
show
you
he
have to
wanted
do
make.
Kapil Sharma, then you'll be dancing.
Correct.
But Kapil Sharma is not dancing. That's who he is.
Maybe then that's why it
But even-
worked like that, because
It does.
It does. His originality and
It does work like that.
But Kapil Sharma is like done now. Like the
No. Why do you
Netflix,
say
it's,
that?
the decline has begun.
Says who?
It's-
According to
thought
what?
we-
I
there
spoke to
was some-
Netflix. It's really working for them. You know, it has
is?
brought a new audience that watches TV and does not watch Netflix. But that's what it's about. The point of investing money is to get subscribers. It's worked. It's a success for them. It's been renewed again. So why do you say decline?
I saw some video and
but it was never meant to match the TV numbers.
Yeah,
वो
of
TV
course.
पे उसने इतना किया है,
TV
like
पे तो
at this point, like what
saturated
else
हो गया
will he
ना,
put?
हाँ.
Same, चार ही तो एक्टर है जो हर साल आ रहे हैं. सबका वो एक सीजन में तो एक एक्टर 2 बार भी आ रहा है कभी. उसके 2 पिक्चर आए. But so he for Kapil also is like a new challenge for me. Let me try to crack this now. I did TV. Let's do digital.
Do any of you like watch his stand-up special on?
I watched his stand-up special.
you
I thought it was good. For him, it was good because he was speaking as himself for the first time, and he addressed like him getting drunk and tweeting and saying stupid shit. I thought it was cool for him to do that. I didn't have expectations of him being like a Dave Chappelle type comedian.
Can I just go back to one thing? I'm sorry. When you say that it shattered something, the fact that we knew the jokes that were going to...
No.
I want to give a different perspective on it. I think the coolness goes up when you're able to take those jokes, when you know that, fuck, I'm doing this for entertainment, and we're going to have to create an environment where it's not safe.
Yeah.
Every joke has an edge to it, right? Even if it's at my cost,
Yeah.
right? I think that is fucking cool. I really
No, I'll
think
tell you.
so.
Yeah.
I think now when you look at it, know that he is laughing not because that joke is new for him. He loves my delivery.
Yeah.
I knew some of the jokes that were going to be. Some jokes really I thought was so fucking funny because of the delivery.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Please
for
look
me,
at it like that.
No, I'll tell you. For me, I knew that you guys know the jokes that are going to be cracked on you. So,
More or less. I mean,
yeah,
pata hai, idea
most
hai.
of the times because we know how the roast concept works, where you're not you give them, like, how you said, you had
No-go zones.
Yeah.
a no-go zone you had.
Some
you were
people
like,
have,
"ठीक है." Some
like-
people have sensitive topics. We know, like, I know how the whole concept works.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't know that they also helped you write those jokes.
I'm not a comic, bro.
Yeah.
But you
Fair.
are extremely funny, so it did. Like
So
you're
for me, I'll
quick-witted,
tell you,
you're
if-
articulate. So when we
Joke writing is a different skill.
It's a different skill altogether.
Dude, that's stand-up ke naam pe. The first time I ever got on stage was then. I didn't even rehearse. I didn't have time to rehearse. I just landed,
Yeah.
wore changed my clothes, and fucking got.
didn't seem like that at all. You were so.
I was the only guy who
nonchalant. You
didn't
were, like,
rehearse, by the way.
vibing while coming on to the
तो-
song. And,
You know, it's that guy.
yeah,
It's not me.
the Hulk.
Yeah. He came on, and now I'm not. पहले तो मैं डर जाता हूँ. Fuck. And then.
So then, like, 8,000 people and all that.
Then
Switch.
fucking. I don't care. I don't give a shit, man. Sure.
Yeah. I love
But you're
that.
right. It was very cool for everyone involved too. Like Ranveer and Arjun also for them. Bro, at that
that
time.
was-
That's
huge.
fucking.
That's
cool.
bad.
That was, that was very
badass.
cool.
And
100%.
everyone our age
Karan also.
who watched
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
who watched it, they were like, "This is fucking cool." Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Karan Johar. That
Karan
was the
Johar
first
taking-
time. It was the first time it was publicly addressed
That
that
he's-
this
Sexuality.
is.
Yeah.
This is
Like
a
when
thing.
Ranveer was on his, like, all fours, he's like, Ranveer, that's my position. And, like,
Fuck, bro.
it's so crazy. And my mom is also watching that. And my mom was like, what the fuck? And for me and my sister, it's just so funny.
He
It's
loves
like,
dogs. But see that was an environment where just free flowing. It was unbridled. I loved it.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. That's what I said. People like TVF, people like AIB, you guys, apna Samay. You guys, whenever you've gone and done something which is like out of the box, and I love it. I think I would like to think that back in the day when you guys were in your chaddis, I kind of attempted to do something along those
Right,
lines.
right.
But you guys are universally loved, man. मेरे पे hate सारा इधर.
नहीं हमें भी
Because
I
of
know.
people
We
are
also
watching. You
get-
said I've become a pop culture icon. How do I know is that I'm getting a new generation of haters. जिनको context नहीं पता, जिनको show का context
They
नहीं
don't
पता.
know
They don't know
what it is,
why
yeah.
I'm having this conversation. They don't see the show, the journey itself, the actual show.
They're seeing a clip and
They're
Yeah.
showing fucking and they're
Basis of
reacting to
that.
it.
नहीं, I mean, I wouldn't say that we're universally loved. हमें भी
Yeah,
काफी hate आता है, and we're also, but it's like most of it is irrelevant because we know we haven't
Of
done
course.
anything to warrant that kind of hate. It's just like people have opinions and perspective, and that's the beauty of the internet also, that everyone gets to have a perspective and
Yeah.
an opinion.
As-
That's why it works.
yeah, it's fair.
And we don't mind it at all, honestly. Like
Can I ask you something? How are your parents about this shift to Mumbai and your podcast and all?
My parents were always supportive, I would say.
Do they watch your episodes?
Yeah.
They're okay?
At the start, they weren't fully okay with it because it took them some time to understand कि यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है. Like, why do people watch you? It's just the three of you talking to each other. Like, why is this a thing?
Like I squeal like a girl.
there's the Hulk.
So for them, there was like
Yes,
a learning curve to some extent, or just understanding ये है क्या. Then once they understood, and now they're like, we've had conversations about it. They know the intent behind it. So
Once my
okay.
dad, we were sitting, and dad said, "Beta, you should think about, toning down your language and the way you talk to people." I said, "Dad, do I tell you how to do your job? This is my job. मेरे को करने दो. बीच में बताओ." He said, "नहीं बेटा, it's people say bad things about you. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता." And then I realized, fuck, yeah, actually, it will have an effect on him also, But he was such a sweetheart, yeah. My mom also. There's a time when Rajiv, we took them for shows and all that, and she needed to go to the washroom. So Rajiv leke gaya, and there was a lady who was looking at, and she came and said, "You're the Roadies guy?" She said, "Yeah." "You're the mother? How do you feel about what your son does?" She said, "I'm so proud." And she smiled, and Rajiv told me that mom did this. उस औरत को समझ में नहीं आया क्या बोलूं.
Yeah.
She thought थोड़ा I'm sorry ऐसा बोलेगी. But I'll tell you a very personal anecdote about Roadies and the Roadies Raghu.
Yeah.
So I went through my divorce, which we called an uncoupling because Kuhu and I are friends. We were buddies. We were friends. Shouldn't have gotten married. Got married, fucked up the friendship.
How long was the marriage?
10 years.
10-year marriage. She was a part of the show, right? If
No,
I'm
no,
not-
no.
No, she was never part of the show, like auditions or anything?
No, season 2 May she was a plant, but that
Okay.
was when I. But that was no. She was a moderator. She was
Moderator.
one
She
of
was
the
a moderator
moderators.
before GD
yeah.
mein.
Yes, she was. She helped me. After that, wo hua. Then I was single. I met Natalie, and we clicked. The first person I told was Kuhu, and बात अब engagement पे आ गई. So I proposed to Natalie at the top of Table Mountain in South Africa, in Cape Town. Beautiful. It's a mountain. It's called Table Mountain. There's always a cloud sitting on top of it. So you're up in the clouds. You're in the heavens, so to speak. And she accepted. I said, okay. So there was she said, you have to meet my parents. So I said, okay. We met in Thailand. Uske mummy papa, because they are in Canada. So New Year's pe mile, and I had to talk to her father before I proposed, actually. I wanted to get his permission to marry his daughter, like a man. Like, you have to do that. I did that. He said yes, okay. But he said, but you're married. I said, no, divorce तो चल रहा है, हो जाएगा. He said, okay, no. वो खत्म हुआ, ये लोग वापस गए. उन्होंने बोला कि engagement हो रहा है. Our daughter is getting married, so they have to do something called an engagement party. So I had to go to Toronto. I'd never been there. Now in her family, there's one Indian. Natalie's chachi. She calls her chachi, right? So married to her uncle. She realized कि ये कौन, they googled, ठीक है, and they realized she's getting married to Raghu. She doesn't know me. There was something called an intervention. You know what an intervention
Yeah.
is? There was an intervention where the women of the family cornered Natalie's mom and let loose on her. What's wrong with you? How can you let your daughter do this? Your daughter, maybe she likes being slapped around. Who knows? But what's wrong with you? How can you allow her? Look at this guy. You Google, he's the most abusive guy in India. Abuse तो यहाँ पर गाली है, उधर मारना है. और रो पड़ी वो औरत. रो पड़ी वो. She's like, no, you can't let this. And her mom was like, are we talking about the same guy? Because I met him. I really met him. He's the sweetest guy. Actually, when her mom had asked Natalie, hey, are you dating someone? And she said, yeah, I've started to date this guy. But the problem is, he's too nice. I'm not kidding you. And the mother replied, that's never a problem. That's never a problem. So I've had complaints about being too nice. And yet, there was this whole thing about...
Perception of you.
Dude, almost. So she called Natalie, she said, what is this guy? Who is this guy? Why is he provoking such reactions here in this community? So मेरे को जब the first time I went there, I said मेरे पास दो ऑप्शन है. एक तो जैसे जेल में जाते हैं ना, सबसे पहले किसी का थप्पड़ मार. ठीक है. I begged her. I told her mom, please do me this favor. Tell everybody, no, he's very sweet. Only thing is, don't look him straight in the eyes for long because he bites. She wouldn't say that. Can you imagine the kind of opportunity I missed? It would be fucking hilarious. But this really happened because of the Roadies Raghu who protected me. There was a huge issue with Natalie and her family.
That's crazy.
That's a personal thing I've told you. Now you fucking spill your secrets.
Tell us about your love life.
What do you want to know?
Nothing.
No, this came from a place of like, how do people around you feel about what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming for you it must have been crazy, just like, because that's who you are to the public.
Were people scared of you? Like,
I'm sure they
men
were.
in general, if they'd
Yeah.
come out?
यार मेरा साइज उतना है नहीं, बट इवन ऑन द रोडीज बड़े बड़े बॉक्सर बॉडी बिल्डर आते थे, वो कांपते थे. पता नहीं, दिस इज अ परसेप्शन.
There was a demeanor, no? There was
an attitude.
attitude.
It wasn't me, it was that guy. People used to tell me, when they see me, they said, oh, I thought you'd be taller. I said, I am taller. Because that guy is tall. In my book I've written, there's this guy, Roadies Raghu, and yeah, he's taller. If I'm that guy, I will seem bigger to you.
But have you been working out for a really long
It
time?
seems like it.
You seem very fit.
I have, actually I wouldn't call it working out so much. Yes, I have been working out. But I have entered a life where working out is a part of it.
Right.
You know, so it includes, initially it was fasting and a lot of it. walking, and weights. Things that I can do. I think that has really helped the way I look and I feel.
How long have you been doing this for?
Little over a year. Yeah. I started last birthday. Yeah. Little over a year.
You're specific about what you eat and stuff?
No.
No? You can eat anything?
When I had to lose weight and get fit, I did fasting, intermittent fasting. I used to do 20 hours. I used to eat in a 4-hour window. Anything I fucking wanted. Doesn't matter.
But one meal of just...
2 meals. I have to
meals.
break my fast like that and then eat another meal and then eat another meal because मेरे को calories डालने हैं अपने. तो मैं 3 बार खाता था वो 4 घंटों में.
Okay.
तुम लोग क्या करते हो? What do you do for... Your body is right now, it's like a rubber band. You can fucking abuse it.
Yeah.
It'll manage.
Yeah.
Fucking, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've been working out. It's been like a couple of months. Last couple of weeks, I've been sick, so I haven't been going to the gym. But I'm trying to get into that place where working out is a non-negotiable. It's just like a part of your day, and you don't do anything else until that's done. That's what I'm trying to do.
You have to get something called an accountability partner. So tell these guys that if in 3 days in a week or 4 days, I don't send you a selfie in the gym, I owe you 10,000 rupees.
Yeah.
For every week that I don't do it. That person will wait every day कि बहनचोद आ रहा है कि नहीं. Oh shit, आज फिर भेज दिया.
Have you guys heard what happened to Samay with his accountability partner?
Yeah.
What?
So he and
That's
a friend
a
of
bit,
his. No, it's real.
It's real? I thought it's a
real.
bit.
Him and a friend decided to do this thing where they put a lot of money into this one bank account. And they were like, listen, we'll both start working out for 1 month or 2 months. At the end of it, whoever loses more weight
Gets the money.
And they did this. And Samay was like, I'm at some 90 something kgs. So the more heavy you are, the more weight I will lose to reach my goal. So I will start eating. So he's like, I'll buff up and then I'll start losing this weight.
अच्छा पहले weight put on किया,
हाँ.
पैसा डाला,
Yeah.
ये है और फिर वापस आऊँगा मैं. Okay.
हाँ, तो
Like on the way
He
in
tries to get like a boxer, like a.
Correct. On the way in day, he wants to weigh as much as possible.
So
Correct.
his friend was like, I'm going to Goa for a week. Once I come back, we'll start this. So Samay was like, 1 week मैं खाऊंगा पूरा, crazy. And then this dude comes back after a week with dengue.
Hmm.
The day they're supposed to start their thing.
So now that guy can't work out and Samay is just fatter than he was. So it's like, अभी क्या करे? And the money is all stuck now. They don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. See, I was not into. I used to actually look down upon boys who worked out.
People went to the gym. You had a
Gym
problem with
bros.
Yeah, there's a
like
reason
Jack
for it. There are reason for it. Actually, my childhood was in the 80s. I'm Gen X. In the 80s, it was sissy to work out. It really was. You look after yourself, fucking girl, लड़की है, अभी अपने आप को देखता है शीशे में. It was really weird. That toxic masculinity was. You had to be like, I don't give a shit. That was manly.
Smoking cigarettes and stuff like
Everything.
Marlboro man.
Yeah, that was it. Like a real man wouldn't care. तो वो था. So I grew up in that. So I never worked out. Then बड़ा हुआ फिर रोडीज में आया. रोडीज में मैं देखता था anybody who had a body, they felt entitled to success.
Correct.
कि मेरे को क्योंकि वो सलमान खान की बॉडी है, मेरी भी है, मैं भी सलमान खान. You know what I'm saying?
एक बंदा आया था जो जिम करता है.
विद्या.
मैं जिम करता हूँ. That's all he did. मैं जिम करता हूँ.
उससे पूछ लिया अयोध्या. उस टाइम अयोध्या का वर्डिक्ट निकला था. It was the biggest thing in the news. वो प्रोटीन कितना फटाक से उसने बताया. I remember that. That guy was. It was. वो guy. But this is why I felt I stayed away from the gym because I thought चूतिए जाते वो मैं तो कहता था कि उस टाइम मेरा एक था भी कि अगर इस यूथ का कुछ करना है तो जिम बंद करो और कॉल सेंटर्स बंद करो. Fuck, you guys know a lot.
I know. Dude, you don't know how
He's
much
like
I've binge watched you online.
But I'm wrong. I think I have changed my opinion on that. That's why I started working out also because I think sports में अगर हो तो बेस्ट है. अगर स्पोर्ट्स में कुछ खेल सकते हो तो, नहीं तो जिम तो करना ही चाहिए. गुड बॉडी इज requisite for good mind.
It's still true though to some extent. What you felt is like some people make it their whole personality that I go to the gym and
तो मैं cool हूँ.
you are cool if you can consistently work out, but it can't be your whole personality.
Personality, yeah. That's
There's
what
more
happened,
to
yeah.
it, bro. It's like 1 hour of your day. ठीक है, you should do it for yourself. Other than that,
Yeah.
I'm gym freak.
No,
That's
no.
weird, man.
Gym freak.
तू कब शुरू कर रहा है मोटे?
He also go. You're going.
I also have started now. Yeah, I go like 3-4 times a week.
मैं जाता था सिर्फ membership देने. I never worked out, man. But now I'm working out.
Hey, it makes
You
your
say
life better.
it's apparent? Thank
What?
you.
Yeah, because
No,
at least what I've seen, like on the TV or on YouTube and all, you seemed a little scrawnier.
I was at
have,
that time.
like,
I
your arms are a little more
I used to
defined.
work all the time. I did not sleep. In
Yeah.
fact, my mardangi was so toxic that I felt sleeping is sissy.
Yeah.
Sleeping is.
I'm there
Yeah.
right now. I need to
You
get out
should.
of this shit.
Yeah. मैं खाता नहीं था. So I was influenced by Sherlock Holmes. So when he was on a case, he never ate, he never slept. तो मैं भी ऐसे ही था. Fuck. I went 5 days and 5 nights without sleep once. अस्पताल गया सीधा वहाँ से. But every week 3 दिन 3 रात में सोता नहीं था. I was really abused my body. I was your age.
But why would you do that?
Huh?
Why did
Because
you
he
do
was
that?
driven
Ignorance,
towards
man.
certain
Ignorance.
things.
I really thought that was manly.
I'm hard. Like
You know?
sleep.
So मैं working out is sissy. बेंचो तुम जिम जाके आते हो और 4 घंटे में ढेर हो जाते हो. मैं I'm still working. You get up. I'm still working. Then you go to sleep. I'm still working. I'm tougher than you.
Yeah.
That was my arrogance. It was based on ignorance.
But what do you do now? Like what does a day in your life look like?
I play with my son all the time. Everything else happens in the middle.
How old is he?
He's 4.5.
Oh, that's
It's going to be 5 in January. And he is I'm his toy. तुम मुझे उसके साथ देखोगे ना, कोई बिलीव ही नहीं कर सकता कि एक रोडीज पर्सोना भी था. वो मुझे नचाता है. आज कल उसने शुरू कर दिया, हिप्नोटाइज करता है. वो ऐसे करता है बस. When he does this, which means now whatever he says I have to do, I fucking do it. I define myself as a dad. That's who I am. I wanted to change the world through Roadies, through my political activism. I was part of Aam Aadmi Party. I did all that. I have left all of that. I have gotten off all news, all social media. Ever since I have a son, my priority is to protect this guy. That's it. My world is one boy. That's it. And what do? I play with him. I give him a bath, I put him to sleep, and I play with him. That's all. Beach mein I'm acting in Telugu films, acting in some what's it called, web series here in Bombay. I am writing a show for Telugu series for Netflix. I am also singing. I'm forming my own band called Red Raghu. So I'm singing.
Forming a band called what?
Red Raghu.
Red Raghu.
It's not my idea. किसी और ने बोला है, but तो singing, acting, writing, singing. That's what I'm doing when I'm not playing with my kid. That's it.
How wholesome.
It is.
Yeah.
I am, मतलब, oh fuck, that's another guy. मैं उसके बारे में बात करूँगा ना, I can just fucking keep.
What's his name?
His name is Rhythm.
Sweet.
Rhythm. I have written a song for him called Papa. It's on my Instagram. The lyrics are, तेरी छोटी सी दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा तेरा पापा, तेरी हर मुसीबत के आगे खड़ा तेरा पापा, तेरी नन्ही सी मुट्ठी में समा जाए तेरा पापा, तू रोए तो तू ही बता कहाँ जाए तेरा पापा. That's a poem I've written for him.
Has him coming into your life fully changed your perception of
I'll tell you
of life, just of your
Is it
purpose
like a
in life?
changing point for
yes,
you?
yes,
How you
yes,
be.
yes, yes. I'll tell you a concept that will blow your mind. There are insects and organisms in this earth that have a 24-hour life cycle, a 1-week life cycle, 1 month, and there are 100 years, whatever. No matter 24 hours ya kuch, you will get born, you will eat, you will shit, you will mate, and you will die. Reproduction is inbuilt into survival.
primal aspect
Otherwise,
of life.
you will be wiped out, right? Even 2-day ke life cycle mein you will have sex and you'll give birth. The DNA wants to replicate itself. All right?
Yes.
There are insects like the grasshopper, which, is dying. The grasshopper is killing, the female is killing you while you're fucking, right? There is a black widow spider that kills the husband. So even if you're dying, you have to replicate yourself. That's one aspect of it. There were 2 people who were needed to make you. There were 4 people who were needed to make them. वैसे जाता रहे. Go back a few hundred generations, 1,000 generations. Combine these 2 things, that DNA wants to replicate itself, and the fact that everybody that once existed had to exist for you to be born. You are, in that respect, the purpose of existence. You are the reason they existed.
Right.
Till you're not a dad. When you give son, you're no longer the reason. You're no longer the center of the universe. You're no longer the point. Your kid is the point. You are just, your responsibility is now to look after him. That's it. It has changed the way I look after about anything. It has changed the way I interact with people. It has changed the way I bother, the things I bother about. It has literally changed me.
Yeah, we've like, I feel like maybe a few years back we were kind of not very open to the idea of just
Of
maybe not but like me and Stuvi at least, like just like being married and having a family and all, but like of late I feel like that idea is kind of,
your DNA will want to replicate itself. Actually, for me, I was married before this for 10 years. I never had a kid because she didn't want to have a kid. The minute I became a father, the world changes. Evolution has made it like that. Till that time, you won't. You will feel the need to get married, or it might be societal pressure, it might be parental pressure. Okay? But I want to tell you, if you're not ready to have a kid, probably don't have it. When you feel ready, it will really change you. You cannot expect.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine what will come to you.
Yeah. I had this conversation briefly with my dad also. Like I was like, don't, one day this thing, I was like, don't expect me to get married and do whatever. And
What did he say?
And he said that the only, oh shit, okay. He said that he said, listen, the only reason me and your mother exist now is to make sure you are fine and you are happy, and it means more than anything. That the day you experience that now is when you know like what life is about, and that's when you'll understand कि यार तू क्यों है यहाँ पे, इस दुनिया में क्यों है तू. And then at that time I was like very like okay, old man, whatever.
But he's right.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I said. But you don't have to become a father to experience that. You are the point of existence as long as you're single. Somebody else comes. When you exist for something bigger than yourself or other than yourself is when you have a purpose.
It's like you're suddenly not the most important person in your life.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. That's why activism appeals to me so much, because it's about, it used to
Society.
Society.
It's for the world.
You know, then you are attached to a cause that is much bigger than you. You know, fatherhood is that.
Yeah, I think we've spoken to enough people who've said similar things about fatherhood, like always positive. We've never heard anyone who's become a father and say, fuck this. We've heard people say, don't get married, like they've had a bad experience and they say, but no one has said this about fatherhood. And also, I personally think this is one of the things about something a human being can experience. And if you're going to be around for 60, 70, 80 years, if you're lucky, you have to experience it. Like, you can't just like why would you not want to experience that? Why would you not want to have that?
It is part of the human experience. It is part of life.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not recommending fatherhood to anyone. I'm just telling you how it made me feel.
It's a beautiful feeling.
It's the best, bro. I can't even begin to tell you. Oh God.
That's beautiful. I think that's
I think anybody who has an issue with me Roadies के audition देखे, अगर वो देख लेना मेरा बेटा मेरे क्या Roadies audition लेता है, उनके कलेजे में ठंडक पड़ जाएगी. Really, वो रगड़ देता है मेरे को यार. मैं उसके इशारों पे नाचता हूँ. Literally, उसका इशारा होता है और मैं नाचता हूँ. I'm not even exaggerating. It happens. आज हुआ.
Yeah, especially that age. I have like nephews and nieces who are that age. That's a very, like, they have that hold on you.
Oh fuck.
Oh, when that, it's like, and I've heard people say that you shouldn't listen to everything that they do, but it's so difficult
It's infectious, no? Though, just their ability.
Because you're seeking their approval. Bro. Like you're like.
But why would you try to seek their
Because
approval?
it's, you want the. You know how.
When a kid smiles at you or laughs or hugs you, then you'll know why. It's you crave it, you want it. मैं तो उसको क्या रिश्वत चाहिए ले बेटा. मैंने एक रखा हुआ है कर्डल टाइम मैंने रखा हुआ है चीज़ की कर्डल. लुक एट द टाइम व्हाट इट्स कर्डल टाइम. मतलब अब कुछ भी करके मैंने वीडियो में लिया हुआ है उसको दिखाऊंगा कि बेटे व्हेन यू ग्रो अप विल यू कर्डल विद पापा. यस प्रॉमिस प्रॉमिस हाथ मिला. एंड दिस आई हैव शॉट इट कि मैं भाई छोड़ूंगा नहीं तेरे को तू कितना भी बड़ा हो जाए मैं चिपक जाऊंगा ऐसे पकड़ के.
Bro, you like dogs, right?
Yeah.
So you know when there's a new puppy or you seek their approval.
Yeah.
So imagine
it's
that's
the
a
same.
real life human being.
Yeah.
Human being that you've created.
And they can understand what
अगर
you're
एक
saying.
छोटा
bro,
बच्चा
तो
होगा
बात सुन सकता
infant,
हो.
if you've done something चलते चलते if you stubbed your toe किया and that guy has laughed now तू 6 बार करेगा you for 1 hour you'll keep वो नहीं थकेगा but तेरे को करते रहना पड़ेगा. माँ चूदी इसको ये पसंद आ गया अब भैंस सर फोड़ रहा अपना ठप 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 तू करते you will find yourself doing the most ridiculous things again and again and again just to
for
hear
approval.
that thing again.
Yeah.
Can I pee and come? I need to.
Sure. I was
Take a
thinking,
Bible.
I think we can
Yeah,
wrap.
we're done.
Yeah,
So
we
let's
can
okay.
wrap.
How do you want to wrap it? I
Just
want you guys to sing a song. One by
Song.
one. Because
Sing a
I
song.
have spilled my guts. You are not untriggered, man. You guys are
But
completely
this episode
safe.
is about you.
Yeah.
This is like
No, it's
we're
not.
here
It's a
to-
conversation, man.
We're here to chill with
He's the
do
singer.
you
over
recognize? Do you recognize this song? ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਕੁੜੀ ਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਫਿਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਹੱਸਦ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਫਿਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ. My Punjabi is very
I
bad.
don't know.
ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਵੇਂ ਨਵੇਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ख्वाब ਦਿਖਾ ਦੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ गल सुन मेरे यारा तेरे मेरा इश्क है सदियों पुराना तू है मेरी जान मैं तेरे जान आज आज मेरे दिल में समा मेरा ना हर्षित. This is a Roadies audition man. तू बनेगा रोडी. Get out of here.
Dude.
Harshit, shout out, bro.
Does your girlfriend know that you're a fucking
That he's
loser who does it in life? Who fucking obsessed? Does your girlfriend know?
She knows now. She knows now. That girl. Okay.
The goal is to find someone who's as obsessed with Roadies audition.
Yeah, as
so
in-
if she can sit and watch and tolerate
If
this,
she
she's
knows
the
that
one.
song, she's the one.
Done.
But this was too much fun, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, people.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
doing
for
this.
doing
Hey, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me. Yeah.
I had a really good time.
Guess what time it is? It's cuddle time.
Shut up.
मेरा डेट शुरू होने वाला है. As long
Yeah,
as
it's date
as
night,
soon as
yeah.
I finish, the best part of my day starts.
No, but this was a lot of fun. We should do this again.
I'm happy to
we
do
have
it.
more
man.
stuff to talk about.
As long as you ply me with black coffee.
Done.
That
I'm
done.
here.
You got it.
है ना?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, what a ride.
Awesome.
It was okay?
It was amazing.